Hey everybody, what is going on? Marino, Elliot. So we're just waiting for Matt to get here. He just got out of work. That's why. Oh, my mic probably didn't hear me. So we're just waiting for Matt to get out of work. Yeah, he's running a little late. Um, should be a good night. Something a little different. I mean, Matt does work with ball pythons, but he also works with bloods, and bloods are clearly his passion. So it should be awesome. I don't know about you guys out there, but I wish I had a bunch of blood pythons in my collection. So it'll be nice to be able to talk to someone that's a breeder. All right. Yeah, the short tails. They're cool. I actually had a short tail for a little bit. I did not know. I didn't do a bunch of research on short tails. But I was going to go with the bloods for kind of like a backup animal for my collection. Not backup animal, but I need an animal that will be able to throw down retired rats. But then I found out that blood pythons, you really don't feed them much, and they literally hold in all that weight. They would be a very poor decision for me at the scale that I was getting to, for 150 retired rats a year. I would need quite a bit of blood pythons to be able to keep my freezer empty from them. So that's why I'm going forward with boas, red-tailed boas. But Matt is here. He has arrived, and let's get him in here.
What's up?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Man, sorry I'm late, dude. It's fucking, tattooing at night, man. It's just, it's one of those things you gotta. Sorry I'm late, buddy.
Oh, man, I I prefer late night tattoo artists personally. So I've been
Yeah,
there where it's like I can finish this area right here. It's only gonna take 20 more minutes, and then time flies.
yeah. This was a kid's whole upper arm, and like I've tattooed his whole family. Like, where I'm at, I'm in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, which is like right outside of the Smoky Mountains. So
Okay.
we're like right next to, I mean, like a huge tourist attraction. So you know, um, people come through there all the time, and I've got clients from like Illinois, North Carolina, South Carolina, Michigan, and they all come like anyway, his family's in South Carolina, and they sent him up there. And dude, at about hour 3.5, he was just, you know, you could
Hurting.
see, oh, bro. And nobody really realizes it, but when you're sitting there and you're like, ooh, and you're like really pushing, and you're like almost like stressing your body.
Oh,
I
it
mean,
makes
that's
it worse.
100%.
Oh
So it's like,
yeah.
not everybody can get tattooed for 3.5 hours, man.
I
I know.
I
Yeah,
can.
yeah. I
But
think I think my,
what about this whole numbing thing I keep seeing all over? Like I saw it on Facebook. Like you know, if you can say you got a tattoo without numbing cream, then repost it. And I was like, what the hell is numbing cream?
I posted that. That was me, dude. Yeah, I shared that shit because it was like, and it doesn't work, bro. There's that. It's like, and plus, who the fuck, you're supposed to earn that shit.
Hell yeah,
That
it's something
that's part of
forever.
it. You go talk to these Aborigine people that were getting their faces tattooed in outback Australia and be like, "Yo, did you guys use the numbing cream on that part of your chin?" And
Yeah,
I guarantee you they're gonna laugh at you. So
yeah. I mean, I want to get eventually when I make my way to the Philippines, I want to get it done with the bamboo, how they do it in the Philippines.
Yeah, man. I
Yeah,
would
so
be down for that.
I want to. I mean, you feel pain, but you got to be able to zone it out.
Oh,
I prefer getting as much like a 4 hour session was always my number.
yeah,
Because 4 hours, if you do 2 hours and it's going to take 10 sessions, that's 10 times going there. If I can
exactly.
do 5 sessions, it'll make my life a lot easier.
Yeah. I mean, for 4 hours isn't 4 hours isn't too, as long as you and people underestimate like the conditioning of your skin. Like right now, with as dry as it is here in East Tennessee, horrible time for me personally to get tattooed because I don't put lotion on my skin or anything like that. But I mean,
Yeah.
like some people that that comes into play. Like you need to eat, you need to drink some water. Um, if you're planning on sitting here for 4 or 5 hours, you know,
Gotta be
it's
ready.
it's it's not like you could come in and just be hung over and think that this is going to go smoothly. Like,
Oh yeah.
you haven't eaten and it's 12 o'clock and you come in stumbling. Like, bro, it's this number one. If I smell beer on your breath, I'm not tattooing you. But yeah, so but yeah, man, I've been tattooing for like 19 years now, pretty much straight fucking out of high school. I fucked
That's
around for
great.
about 2 years out of high school and then just realized that's what I was gonna do.
What's going on, Shane? Just want to say hello to a couple people. Cuddle Time Critters, Shane, Black Smoke Reptiles, Jose from Grab Your Balls, Marino. What's going on, guys?
Oh, fucking Jose, Shane. Yeah, that's cool. I can't see. All I can see is when it pops up, so I can't see any of the chat or
Oh,
anything.
are you using your cell phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, so with your cell phone you can't see comments, which is really annoying.
Ah, hell, it's all right.
Mary. How you doing, Mary?
Mary. Yes. It's a good
Up,
group
no
of
limit. We
people in
got
here.
Jerome in here. What up? What up?
Yeah.
I'm due for a tattoo. I haven't gotten a tattoo in fuck. What was my last tattoo? I haven't got a tattoo in 3 years.
Really?
So I'm like way overdue. I had to do it. My actually it's everything's backwards with this
Yeah,
fucking
no.
thing. So I got
Oh my
Lightning
god.
McQueen, but
That's awesome.
he's got an autism tattoo, autism decal on him.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's
my
legit, bro. What'd that feel
my
like up
son,
under what'd that feel
oh,
like under there?
I think like everything was cool up here, but when he got to the wheels, like this fleshy part over here where the fat is away from the muscle, that one kind of felt like I had something like hot on me, like really burning.
Like liquid fire.
Like the one like bitch thing that I do when I get tattoos is my palms sweat. So I keep paper towels on my hands. But that one, like I was sitting there, I was just like, soon as he got down doing the outline, I was like, ooh, there's that part is sweet.
Yeah.
But it was cool. My 9-year-old, he has autism and
Oh,
he's obsessed with Lightning McQueen. Like Disney cars, like
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
he thinks that when he grows up, he's going to be competing against Lightning McQueen in a race.
run it.
And that's his dream. He loves it. He's 9 years old. He collects Hot Wheels and Disney
Oh,
cars, and
dude. How
loves it. So
cool
I
is
had,
that?
but now all my other kids are like, "Oh, where's the tattoo for me on you?" And I'm like, "We gotta wait." I moved far away from my artist. That's the big issue. It's like two and a
Yeah.
half hours to see my artist. And I don't know. I feel like once you're comfortable with an artist and if they understand your notion, because every one of my tattoos are always, I give an idea and I say how I like it, and I let them use their creativity on it because
Right.
essentially it's
Mhm.
the tattoo artist's artwork, so
Yeah,
they
yeah.
should be able to have creativity, freedom, creative freedom.
I mean,
And
dude, and when you go into the spot and you're like, "Hey, this is what I'd like to do. This is the kind of artwork I'm into." You're probably going to get a better tattoo, you know, because that artist has the ability to put himself in it, you know, and
exactly.
and not just go, because so many people will come in and they'll have their phone with them nowadays, and it's like, well, I found this on Pinterest and I want this exactly,
Can I
and it's
email
like,
it to you? So not so much shitty drawings. Now it's pictures from on your phone.
pictures from phones, bro. We have like some of the nicest computers at the tattoo shop, and it's like, we were thinking, yeah, people will want to get on there and look on the internet and this. Dude, those things, we dust them every night for no reason because nobody uses them. Everybody comes in with their phone and they have it. It's like, okay, well, do you have a Facebook or an Instagram? Yeah, okay, well, send it to me. They send it to you and you literally draw it off that. It's
Yeah.
like a portfolios, even. Like, you remember you used to be able to go into a tattoo shop. Okay, well, can I see your artist's portfolio? Well,
Oh,
because
here's
of
his Instagram.
Instagram. Here's my
Yeah.
card. Here's my card. You can check out my Instagram. Like,
Yeah. If you're in New York, anyone that's looking for a tattoo by the Hudson Valley area, Anthony Guido Tattoos. Great dude,
yeah,
hard worker. He's a hustler, man. This guy's tattooing. He's tattooing from 10 o'clock in the morning until midnight.
yeah. So, I mean, those are the hours you work.
Yeah,
I mean, I just got lucky enough to get a job in a town where I can work, 5 to 10 and make the same thing I would make working from 12 to 10. Because Jesus, for 15 years of my career, man, I worked 12 to 10. You know,
wow.
um,
So you did more than just put in your time.
oh, bro, yeah. I mean, yeah, and I mean, like, and I'm saying, multiple years of that.
Yeah,
It was really when, like I said, I really lucked out getting a job with the place I work with now, and um, my wife was very, and always has been very supportive of everything I do as far as like work, because she sees, the value in that. I mean, you
yeah,
know, you can make $500-600 in a night, and that takes care of a lot of bills and a lot of things, and it's like, so, being a tattooer really isn't, um okay, bro, yeah, I'll hit you up tomorrow. uh but being a tattooer, man, I've seen so many artists like go through marriages just like left and right, because like you said, you have to hustle. You're selling yourself. You have to have someone that, when you're at dinner and you're on a date that you only get maybe 2 times every 6 months because you have 2 kids, you have to be with someone that is willing to deal with the waiter or the waitress or someone at that point in that night going, oh, you must be a tattooer. Well, look at this. What would you charge for this? And blah, 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 blah. Sarah has never once complained about that. And dude, I know guys that have lost marriages because of things like that. So it's
yeah,
there's so much that goes into it to be successful at it. It's not only your ability to hustle and sell yourself is one, but to really do it to the fullest degree you can do it, you have to have somebody with you that 100% supports you, man. I mean, and I got lucky with that.
That's great.
So.
Does she like snakes too?
Uh, she likes ball pythons. She has a couple ball pythons. The banana calico is hers. My son has a few that are his favorites. Nobody in the house really fucks with the short tails really other than me. Sarah has a couple like Mallory, the initial she's actually in the shed, so she's pissy as all get out. But she's been around the longest. So if there was one that I would that Sarah would probably be more inclined to deal with or do whatever with, it would definitely be Mallory, just because she's known her for the longest.
How
But
old is Sarah?
Sarah is 32. She is 8 years younger than me, which I lucked out on that because she's beautiful, and I'm obviously haggard from fucking Harry Potter. So,
You don't got a big enough beard though.
I shave it because I have to wear a mask. So I'm kind of like the COVID haggard.
Okay. I get it now. I get it.
Dude, these mask mandates and shit at my work, like, it took me a while to get used to that. Like, I got no problem with masks at all. I think they really help. I know here in East Tennessee, it's cut down on like the flu and the cold and shit like that because everybody has masks on. But I mean, like, it took me a minute to get used to tattooing with those things on. And so yeah, I shaved my beard. My beard was like Amish long for a while, and it just, you get tired of combing it every time you take your mask off so you don't look stupid. I just keep it shaved anymore, man.
See, it's opposite for me. For No Shave November, it took me about 3 months to have a half a mustache.
Really?
Yeah, and then December 26th, I shaved it on a live stream.
Hell yeah.
Like, it just looked horrible. Like, I'm half Asian, so I grow hair like here, a little soul patch, and then I get a little small U on my chin over here. So it looked horrible. But you know what, I did it on my story. I was like, who wants, should I not shave for No Shave November? And I wrote, should I grow a Fu Manchu? And everyone's like, hell yeah. But then I don't think they realized that it would take me like 6 months to have the average 15-year-old's mustache,
Oh shit, that's hilarious, dude.
Yeah, man. But it's awesome. I'm happy to hear. It's nice to hear good things happen to good people, and you put
I
in your
appreciate
time
that.
for all those years, and now you can work 5 to 10. That's perfect time for taking care of your reptiles, your family.
Yeah, man. I got school with the boy in the morning, and then usually by 3:30 he's off to and I'm off to work, man. So we've got
That's
two.
awesome.
We've got a 5-year-old and one that's about to be 2. So
Nice.
I started very late in life, because
Yeah.
I'm 40. So I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I
But
mean, my
whatever.
youngest is my youngest is 7, and my oldest is 12. She just turned 7 though a couple weeks ago. Not even
Right.
the 20th. So I mean, it's good, man. It's better off that you're able to do it while you have more time, because
Right.
kids take up so much time.
And I was an irresponsible son of a bitch for a lot of my life. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
everything happens exactly how it's supposed to when it's supposed to. So
Yeah. Well, if you can see, it's not gonna help. Oh, there you go.
what's
Everything
that?
happens for a reason.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And you want to know something? I must have been somewhat of a smart guy at 18 because that's when I got it.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I just yeah, I was having I think it was because I was having a rough I was having a rough time in my life with depression, So
Yeah.
some people need a little bit of a reminder
Oh
to
yeah.
to slap them in the face so they don't do stupid shit. And
100%.
I was like, I went to a tattoo shop and I was like, I got the owner of the tattoo shop that had a reputation for he doesn't need to get touch ups, but he kicks your ass while you're in there.
Right.
Kicks your ass.
They
And
have they have an old saying called "bold will hold."
yeah, I mean, see, you can see how dark that is. That's
Yeah.
20 years old.
Yes, dude.
20 years. 20 years. And I always thought that, like 'cause my other tattoos, you can't even feel where they start or finish. 20 fucking years, I can still feel every fucking letter on this thing because Joe kicked my ass.
Yeah.
Actually, when I left the tattoo shop, I hopped into my 91 Integra and then I felt my the armrest on the door wet, and it was actually the blood dripping down the bottom of the shirt because he
Oh yeah.
kicked my ass so hard.
Blood and plasma.
But let me tell you, man, I gotta say it's beautiful, the tattoo. I mean, I don't even have to put lotion on it. Like some people lotion everything up to kind of keep them bright.
Right, right.
I brush them. Like I'll brush them once a month. Kind of peel off like the layer of skin on top, and I feel like that
Yeah, yeah.
brightens them.
It does
But
totally. I mean, you knock that dead skin off, and it looks great.
yeah, so that's cool, man. I love what you do with the blood pythons. I saw that you got a snake that it ovulated.
She ovulated. She
Yeah,
ovulated. Yeah. You know, it with the Bloods, man. Everything kind of happened. Um, I remember when the first time I saw like a picture. Obviously because they weren't that popular that long ago. I mean, they've just kind of gained a little bit of popularity, and that's good. You know what I mean? Because they're beautiful animals. But thanks, Shane, man. I appreciate that. Uh, but one thing I learned, when I first got into ball pythons, for me, it was a thing to kind of uh, idle hands. I mean, I was in a place where I just needed something to do past what I had because, I was, I guess when I bought my first ball python, I was probably 6, 7 months sober off of pharmaceuticals. You know what I mean? Like with like
yeah,
a long term addiction to pharmaceuticals, and I just needed something to do, man, to be honest with you. And I kept ball
yeah.
pythons earlier, never thought about breeding them. I bred leopard geckos. Believe it or not, I bred leopard geckos, and I just went to the local pet store and gave them the eggs, and they gave me dog food for my Great Pyrenees.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, it
Oh, you
worked
got a
out.
Great Pyrenees? I just saw a puppy of those that are like locally for sale, and my son's like, "Oh, we should get that." I'm like, "You got to see how big they get."
Oh, bro,
You know?
we've got a puppy in here that's she's in her crate and she's finally quiet, but she is I think like 9 to 10. I think she's 10 weeks old now, and she's probably about 45 pounds.
Oh my god.
I
Yeah.
love it. I had one. I know you if you can see this picture right up here. Um, that that is I can't grab it because it's way over there, but that's Ava. That's the first Great Pyrenees we ever had. And she actually, in September of 2014, she had to be put down because of bone cancer. And, I had her for 12 years. Like, dude, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. That dog literally taught me. And I mean, the people, I contribute my being diligent as a father to that dog, because
Yeah.
it taught me, while I thought I was breaking and training her, she was training me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'll forever have Great Pyrenees, dude. And that's a dog that a 6'2", 270-pound man can get in the ground with and just pick up and be like, ah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I couldn't do that with a Cocker Spaniel. So,
Yeah.
but
I got a dog like that. My buddy Chris, I call him the mastermind. He's like been my best friend since I was a kid. But he was the dude that like I would break my dirt bike and I'd push it to his house. He's 10 years older than me, but he's a genius. He can fix anything, computers, cars. He's an elevator mechanic as a living, but has a lift in his garage. So like we didn't go to the shop. We fixed all of our cars right in his garage.
oh,
And
dude, how cool is
and
that?
he said that everyone in their life has that one dog. Um, he had a dog named Gretchen, and ironically, him and his girlfriend found an abandoned dog during a snowstorm around this time of the year in New York, and he was like he couldn't keep it, so he gave it to me, and her name was Kaya. She was this 26-pound dog, fully malnourished, fucked up. Bring her to the vet, get all of her stuff all up to date. The first week I had her, and the second week I had her, I came home to her having a litter of puppies under my bed. And she was a 26-pound pit bull.
Holy shit.
And Kaya was a fucking nightmare when I first got her. She
Yeah.
was a shitty mother. I'd get home from work, I'd find puppies in the bathtub, in the closet, under the sink, on windowsills, and she would be sitting there on the couch next to where I sit, just waiting for me.
Right.
And she did so much crazy stuff. I mean, she ate my belts. She had a thing about leather, so she was literally eating belts. Um, no problems. Pooped it out. Trashed my house, but eventually she learned the limits, and I learned what worked for her.
Right.
And that dog, I had her for 15 years. 15 years, and 2 summers ago we had to put her down. And I'm
That
like, it's tough because it's that dog.
there's nothing like that, There's nothing like that, bro. I mean, I haven't lost a child, thank God. But I mean, for me, that's the closest. I've never experienced anything to that level. What up, Mindy? What up? Of
Kayla,
that was pretty intense, to be
it's a
honest,
rough
man.
part. Hell yeah. Oh God. And then just the weird shit, waking up, dog's not there. Going to sleep, dog's not there. Coming home. So we got when we knew Kyle was getting to her end, we got a pup. We
Yeah.
got I rescued a Catahoula leopard dog Labrador
Ooh,
cross.
God, I bet that thing's beautiful.
So he's awesome. He looks like almost like a beagle, like a hound dog pattern. He's got that color. Awesome dog. Really, really cool dog. But he's not Kaya.
Right.
I'm like, I miss that dog so much. So I'm on the search for a brindle pit, brindle bully, something in that category. So
Yeah.
we're just
Do you
waiting,
like do you like the lower to the ground, like mini bullies, or do you like the XL bully?
So I wish I would prefer an XL bully. I like a
Yeah,
bigger dog. I
me
don't live in
too,
a great
bro.
neighborhood. I I'd rather a dog that makes people cross the road and then walk by my house than a dog that people are going to try to pet. Now,
Yeah,
granted, Bailey's no joke because Catahoulas are like really good security dogs.
yeah, yeah.
So what's going on, Ryan? Um, and I mean, this dog barks if someone farts 3 houses down. So it's he does it, but he's just not that big. He maxed out at 50 pounds. So I mean, granted, a 50-pound dog, especially the way he barks, like you would think that he's a German Shepherd, but
Yeah, that was what I was to say. That still put the fear of God in somebody that was about to break into a house and didn't want to get their ass bit by a dog.
yeah, or a hole blown into him, one or the other.
Right. Have you ever heard of a Fila Brasileiro?
No, but I can look it up.
Look that shit up. It is obviously a mix of a couple different breeds, but dude, one of my childhood friends' sister bred these dogs when we were kids, and yeah,
Shit,
dude,
looks like it looks like part
when you
Rhodesian Ridgeback.
when you get a second, watch the YouTube videos of these dogs being trained for security reasons. I mean, dude,
Yeah,
it's like serious, like a fucking 250 pound.
that's how big they are. Holy
Oh yeah,
shit!
bro, they make Pyrenees look small.
See, I had
Totally,
a German Shepherd, man, and what I don't miss about Belle was cleaning up her shit
yeah,
because it's massive. That's the one thing about the dog. Like, I guess that's like one of the pros about a little dog. Like,
little bitty
if
food.
your little dog, has the runs and gives a little squirt, it's nothing. But
Right?
when your 100-pound dog has the runs and fucking pours 2 cups of hot chocolate on the fucking floor, yeah, not even incense get that out.
You said fucking hot chocolate.
Yeah, man.
It's so true, though. It's so true.
Yeah. My shepherd was the worst with that. She unfortunately she bloated. So now I'm afraid to get a German Shepherd again after that. Because you don't know, it's and ironically the anniversary of that, she died on my wife's birthday, January 13, four
Oh
years
my
ago.
god.
Yeah, oh
How
no,
horrible
five.
is that?
Yeah, and it was bad, man. She was like a stomachy dog from the start.
Yeah.
Like we had to drug her to drive her anywhere, or she'd vomit in the car. Um, but when it snowed, she'd go crazy. And my father has an 8 foot wall at his house.
Like a
She never,
perimeter wall?
no, like kind of like if your property's a hill, so
Yeah.
then it's flat and then stairs, but then there's a wall
Oh,
where the
okay. I
stairs
got
go up.
you. Yeah, yeah.
So whenever it snowed, Belle would go full fucking ADHD dog and run and jump up and down this 8 foot wall. She was awesome. She was a beautiful, 85-pound German Shepherd. Well, she must have ran inside and drank a bunch of water, and then
Bloated.
it bloated, her stomach twisted, and we didn't know. So the next day she threw up, which she randomly threw up. That was just our dog.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You
we were
wouldn't
like,
think anything different of it.
yeah, we're like, well, we'll see how she goes over the night, and if I have to bring her to the emergency room when I get out of work, I will. And then of course I got stuck at work because the water main broke, and we had a 800-person wedding, and I was an engineering manager, and there was no water in our building during this wedding. So I have to get like porta potties and all types of shit delivered to the building because the show must go on. You
Right.
can't be like, oh, there's a water main break. Fuck your wedding. Go home. See you later.
It's not
Here's
that important.
just for that prime rib. So my wife calls me fucking crying. The fucking dog died in her arms.
Oh,
Like 12. It's
it's one of
absolutely.
it's one of those things you never get used to, and if you spent any time with it and you had a relationship with that animal, it's one of those things that you'll never get over, man.
Oh yeah, and me and Belle had a love-hate relationship because Belle was a bitch, and she was a female dog, but she was a fucking bitch. When
Right,
this dog, when this dog was a puppy, she pissed on the floor, right? Just like any other puppy.
right.
So I go old school and I put the dog's nose right into that piss and yell at her. Then I carry her outside. I put her outside. I clean up the piss. I bring her back inside. She grabs all of her toys, puts it in the center of the room, and takes a piss on it. Yeah. Oh yeah. She was a spiteful little bitch. She
What?
she ripped up the corner bead. You know, like on the corners of all your walls, they put aluminum in it.
Yeah.
So she would grab it from the bottom and rip it up. So I would get home and all of a sudden you just see a piece of aluminum just going across straight because she was chewing it from the bottom and standing up and going backwards. She ruined my kitchen. She rounded everything on my kitchen, like where your feet can settle in under the cabinets. Rounded all that. She ruined the oak cabinet, full kitchen. Ruined it. But then when she hit 4 years old, so 4 years of me not killing this dog, and something like flick of a switch, she was fully trained. She listened to everything. She healed. No issues at all other than stomaching. I mean, this dog didn't wear a leash anywhere. She always
Yeah.
kept her rib cage against my leg. I can stop. She stops instantly. I can turn around. She follows me around. I mean, she was fully trained and fucking 9 years old. She was in her prime, and that was it.
Man,
But let's talk
that
about
shit's
cool
just
shit instead of depressing shit.
yeah. Fuck, fuck,
So the
fuck,
ball
fuck.
pythons. So
Yeah,
I'm a ball python guy, obviously. Are those both you and your wife's, or
no,
those are
I
mainly
mean,
her?
well, I mean, she, granted, I mean, it's pretty much me, just to be real with you. I mean, it's me. She helps when she can, but she helps by in essentially letting me come in here and I go, hey, I need like 2 hours to clean these tubs or whatever. Can you entertain the boys long enough for me to take care of this shit? Hey, I got to fill up waters. She'll go and help me fill up pitchers of waters and things like that. But she's not really like into snakes. Like it wasn't her idea by any stretch of the imagination to load our third bedroom with snakes instead of a crib for our son. Unfortunately, you know, uh, when we moved in here, we didn't necessarily have the second kid. So this was the snake room, it,
Yeah.
um, but we've already started the process of buying a building and moving everything outside and all that. So, everything is really, when I say she has a ball python, I mean, that's like her
She
baby.
named
That's her pet, essentially.
it. Yeah.
Like, he won't be going anywhere in anytime soon. That's the banana calico, which is actually the first animal I ever wanted to produce. When I started researching things and kind of getting into it, 4 years ago or so, it was I really like calico. I really like banana, so I want to make a banana calico. And man, we lucked out. I don't know if you've seen any pictures of him or anything.
Oh, he's a pretty
Um,
one.
dude, hold on, I'll snag him. Oh, are you in shed? No way, bro.
Of
No,
course.
he's
That's
not.
always
He's
how
not.
it goes.
You can't
Uh,
really, because of the light in here. You are in shed, man. But it's like that calico is so high white,
Oh
you
yeah.
know. The spots are extremely minimal. He's in shed right now, which friggin' sucks, but there's like, and it's probably not picking up very well, but there's like legitimately like a purple lavender line that outlines, his white stripes, his white calico patches. And he produced one of the nicest calicos that we've ever produced came from him this year, actually. It was a single gene, just a single gene calico that was like, my God, dude. It was, I mean, if I needed it, I would have kept it. But I mean, as far as ball pythons go, I have like everything that I'm really interested in.
Yeah.
I super super into the lace stuff. I was talking to people about lace like 3 years ago when I bought the single gene female off of Scott at CV Exotics
Nice.
because
I'm friends with Scott.
Scott's good
Scott
people, man.
Scott's my buddy, man.
Yeah,
We've been vending together at the White Plains Reptile Expo for 4 years.
yeah,
Yeah, and then now, since New York sucks and we won't have a reptile expo till probably 2030 if Cuomo keeps getting voted in. Um, we I've been going to New Hampshire,
yeah,
so I've been doing shows, and that's where he is, New Hampshire.
yeah.
So it's great. Actually, I just did a trade with Scott because he needed gargoyles for his store
Yeah,
because he's got like the dream. I would say that a lot of us breeders would have is he has the pleasure to have a reptile breeding facility and a pet store, and he does expos. Like that's like the trifecta. That's the
right,
three
right,
things
right.
you want to do. You want to be able to produce. You cut your overhead on that because you're paying all your bills just from online sales and
Right.
have a store to be able to move animals as well as doing the reptile expos. And nice guy, man. I've probably bought like 4 snakes off him over the years.
Him and one of the guys, I think Don at Nerd, were the two people that kind of at the same time brought lace. They imported it. Like he's one of the originators of the lace jeans. Scott, I don't want to get in. I don't know the whole fucking like deal type thing, but I
Yeah,
know that him and I know that you know how that fucking banana and coral glow shit and all that bullshit. But I
yeah,
mean, like, dude, that's the whole reason I bought them from Scott was because he had shit that nobody else had. He had already proved out the super. He was like talking to me about the white lace shit.
Gomez, my
Yeah,
brother.
Sally Sal.
So those two, Scott and Ian, at the White Plains Expo, they could have a catch with each other from their tables. Their tables are literally facing each other at that show.
Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah. And I had no idea, man. I've known Ian for years. I had no idea who Ian was until I started hearing about Ozzy bringing in buying a snake from Ian called that was orange, and then that was like the beginning of the orange dream. Um, he's a cool dude. He's a regular dude, and if you come with him with a bunch of animals for sale, he'll buy them, man. He loves wholesaling.
Yeah, well,
So
yeah. I mean, I mean, the people that do like the expos and shit like that, bro. That's their bread and butter. You know what I mean? I mean, they uh they have to.
I didn't even read his comment. I just saw the super chat and got excited.
Yeah. That's I mean, that's how if they don't produce it, there's a lot of, and that's something that, oh man, I mean, and I get it. There's things about every community that, stress people out and stuff, but there's so much behind the scenes bullshit, I feel like, a lot of the time in the ball python community, as far as like people will like buy animals from other people. They're like whole clutches, and then these people who are top breeders, sell them as their animals, and they're clearly not. I mean,
Yeah,
and I really feel like, which, while I don't have a problem with that, but I mean, what my problem with that is be honest. Be like, hey, I didn't produce this. I got it from my homeboy, but he's as good as gold. I trust him. I bought it from him, but there's the deal with it. But I mean, that's just me as a person. Like, if you bought something from me that I didn't produce, I would give you every bit of back information I had on that motherfucker. I mean, like,
yeah.
this is who it came from. This is everything I know about it. This is, the last time it took a shit, whatever. I mean, that's the info. But
No, I totally see that. I mean, especially like in the gecko world. Like I'm very big with giving people the credit they deserve.
right.
So if I were to buy an animal from you, every single time that animal hits Instagram, it's gonna say produced by
Yep.
OmalleysMorphs. And I do that with geckos, I do that with snakes. I mean, with everything, because I mean the
Yeah.
reality of it is share the fucking wealth. I'm a fucking nobody, but you know, I'll show love to everybody, and I keep it going like that so that we have like a two-way street,
Exactly.
because everybody helps out each other.
That's the idea behind it, is being good to each other. But the thing that sucks is not everybody else is on the same page. You know what I mean? There's so many people that are just in it for the wrong reason, man. I mean, like,
Well, that's the whole um everyone wants shortcuts.
yeah,
Like the people that come in are like I'll get messages and they'll be like, "Oh, what proven breeders do you have for sale?" And I'm like, "None." Oh, you don't have any pastels? I'm like, "Yeah, I got 9 of them."
right,
Oh, well, why don't you sell one? Well, I can breed a 3-gene male to it and produce a 4-gene animal.
right,
Oh, but you don't need that anymore. You have all these other snakes. I'm like, if I sell it to you, if I sell a pastel, like I don't know. I've seen people selling breeder pastel for like $300, right? What do you mean $300? If I breed my fire spot nose pinstripe to it, if I hit a 4-gene animal, that's $300 right there.
yeah,
That's over 300. That and how much does it cost to feed? Like I breed my own rodents,
right.
so it's 30 cents a week, $15 a year per snake. So
Damn, you
how is
got
this?
that broke down.
I'm
That's what's
half
up.
Asian, man. I love math. No, no, I broke it down because so I put out a lot of videos on like my rodent facility, and
Yeah,
I get a
yeah.
lot of questions, and I kind of break it down. I mean, everything's all kind of by average, but it cost me $54 a week to feed all my animals, and I provide rodents for other people as well.
See, that's the
So,
ticket, man. That's the ticket.
but it's
We,
not that's short lived. It's gonna be short lived.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
all those max
We
big.
we produce our own rodents, but I also, because of the size of some of these animals, obviously, like, I have to supplement, you know, uh, medium and large rats, and the berms get, you know, the colossal. Everything we get's from Cold Blooded Cafe.
Yeah.
You know, I'm probably gonna have to switch over to Rodent Pro here pretty soon because they're the only ones that produce and sell rabbits. You know, as crazy as that is, I'm gonna have to start buying frozen rabbits.
I produce rabbits, but they're for me to eat.
Like meat
Not my
rabbit.
not my snakes. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I got
smart
giant
though.
rabbits. Yeah, we
Smart.
love rabbit. We love
That's
rabbit.
awesome.
But
I don't think
I wish I knew how to ship because honestly, dude, I can't get rid of retired breeder rats for $3.
really.
Yeah, I can't. I actually may have just found someone, but we'll see. One of my neighbors at my next door neighbor at the New Hampshire show, he has a lot of berms. I mean, not berms. A lot of red tails.
Oh
And
yeah, there you go. Red tail. Hey, dude. But boas will eat that shit up, dude.
yeah, I mean,
You
I have
know
one large one, but that's it. And then now she's breeding, so I'm not feeding her.
the
But
boa.
yeah, the boa.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Is this your
it was
first time parent like breeding them?
yeah. I have like a really shitty story about two boas that I had. I bought them in 2001. Het albinos. I'm pretty sure I spent it was either 800 or $1,000 for the pair,
For the pair.
and they were little noodles. And when I bought my house in '06, I took them out of the moving truck and put them on the grass, and I moved in the furniture. And by the time we came out, the two snakes were dead. Yeah, like
What
15
happened?
minutes, direct sunlight, and I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea they were in a tank. They were in a 30 long, and we were just transferring them in that. And yeah, it was
Well,
a bummer.
these are the fucking lessons we learn, bro. I mean, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I mean, okay, so my first year breeding, um, and I'll be honest, I'm not trying. There's a lot of good things that I went off of a pretty popular YouTube star's guide. Let's just say I'm not going to drop any names because the man's done like great things for the industry. Um,
hit up James from Reptile
El
Gyms or Jeff.
Segundo left my wallet in El Segundo.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's all I could think of when he said. um,
We're showing our age. But yeah, dude. I mean, fucking. Okay, so I was following, and I had no clue, so I was watching all kinds of. You sorry, dude. I've got a.
no man, do your thing. Just big
I'm,
shout out for the super chat. Forest Pythons, Bateman, OmalleysMorphs is amazing.
thank
You
you,
giving
thank you.
you giving 3 snakes away again, Chino? Joking. Please tell me what you see Lace does to other morphs. That's because last live stream I literally gave away 3 snakes.
Did you?
Yeah, I gave away a pastel double het genetic stripe orange ghost male, a female double het gen stripe orange ghost, and I'm pretty sure I gotta get it probed. I'm a popper, and I'm
Yeah, me
popping this
too.
thing, and I'm seeing red, but I don't think they're hemipins. I think it's a female, and I just think that it's just
Yep.
not looking
I mean,
like
dude,
it.
how have they had their first shed and all that good
Oh,
shit?
this is like a problem snake. I can't give 100% that it's male or female. She's
Right.
she's she's already on 15 meals. She's probably close to 300 grams already.
Oh shit.
And
It's
yeah,
not
so
showing.
I gave 3 of them away. I decided to give one away, and then I said, maybe I'll give a female away. So that's when I did the female double het. And then there was the chat was fucked up. So the way I was doing it was I was having the guest pick a number. So I was having Chad from Richie's Recessives pick a number. And then when I did the bell on the screen, everyone would type in numbers, and 2 people on their own screens showed that they won first, that they picked the number. So then that's where I was like, I felt shitty about it because on my screen, on Chad's screen, and on like 5 other people's screen, it did say that the winner that we picked. But on that person's screen, they sent the photo and it showed on theirs that that they picked.
That's
So I
crazy.
was like, fuck it. I was like,
Yeah.
I got another snake. And
Look under your seat. Everybody gets snakes. Yes.
but
Yeah, we're giving them away. So, what does lace do to other morphs? Here's a pretty good example. This is a baby we bought, and believe it or not, dude, I bought a ball python this year. This is a phantom lace, and you can kind of see, like right in here, how that white is coming up off the belly.
yeah.
Okay, that is what. And Marshall from Martial Law Exotics, or Martial Law Morphs, sorry, coined it the best. He said it looks like little pieces of popcorn. They literally popcorn. So that is because what the superform does is the superform raises that white side. If you've not seen a white lace, yeah, that's what I was saying. This is an animal we produced this year, and this is the first lace we ever produced. She's definitely never going to go anywhere. But this is a lace firefly. So do you see how, let me see if I can turn it more wide a little bit. Do you see how the bottom is just kind of gone almost? Not gone, but super distorted. There's like the little, you'll see on this side of her, like right there. Damn, we probably can't see it that well. Um, but
Oh, it looks
yeah,
like ghosts under it. It looks awesome.
yeah. Well, that's what lace does, man. Lace just, I mean, dude, it's almost like an enhancing gene, if you know, but it's its own thing, man. I mean, and
Are
that's
you gonna
the
put calico to it?
Marshall did. I believe Marshall made Marshall this year. Dude, this kid's gonna. I mean, this guy's doing insane shit. He has blackhead lace het puzzles
Oh
that he.
shit.
Oh, dude. Nobody's put lace and nobody's put puzzle into lace yet, you know, and it's going to it's just going to explode, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, once I'm a firm believer in lace, and I have been, like I said, for years. You know, I put a very naively made, like I didn't know that much about it, you know, but I made a video about it on YouTube like last year, you know what I mean? Just because, dude, I think there's so much potential in that certain genetic of ball python, you know. But as far as like, I love the mahogany gene. Super big into mahogany. Uh, you know, we made the mahogany Mojave this year, which was really cool. Um, so the fucking Powerball clutch. One thing I did decide this year was that I won't probably breed any more I won't make any more super spot nose, and I won't make any more spiders. I think they're beautiful combos, and there's a lot of things you can do with them. But making them for the general public to purchase, I think that can be kind of, just because of the head wobble, the head wobble. Some people think it's cute, and oh, it's a cute little head wobble, oh, and then some people are like, "What the fuck is wrong with this snake?" Even though it eats, it shits, it sheds, you know.
Yeah.
Like out of 7 eggs this year, we hit 3 world's firsts. And it was complete surprise. I had no clue that, and I mean, I'm not even like trying to claim like, I'm just saying like the animals were sold to me, and I didn't know that there was genetics in them that were in them. So
Yeah.
call it luck of the Irish, I guess, if you will. But I mean, that's this is one of those. So this is what I believe to be. Hold on, let me get in the light. Going this way. Boom.
Yeah, it's opposite.
Okay, there we go. So this is what I believe to be super spot nose inchy. Okay. Just I wish I could get closer to the light, bro, but and you
I
can
mean, I
see
can see it. It looks awesome.
it's insane, dude. And she has a tad bit of a wobble. I'm going to show you her brother who has an insane wobble. Okay. But the other brother or the
Thanks a
other
lot, Brian.
sister,
My man.
look now, see, here is this one. You can see now this is what I call the Midas combo. This is a Powerball, super inchy, red nose or red stripe, pinstripe. Uh, fuck. But you see, like, dude, he's huge. Like for a 2020, animal. Let me see if I can get him in here. But he has that drunken master style head thing going on. I mean,
Yeah.
but he always eats. So I mean, I would never be able to really sell this animal in good faith as like a breeder or
Oh, it's gotta be pet only.
yeah.
I just sold a pet only that with wobble. A super enchy spider. What was it? Super enchy pastel spider that had really bad wobble, and it was a male. So I said it has wobble and it's a pet only, and I was only asking $150 for it.
Right.
And then the kid negotiated me down. He's watched a lot of American Pickers, and he tried kicking my ass. I put it in my video because I was like, dude, just walk away, man. It was one of those customers.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna walk away. I'm like, cool, turn around. There you go.
Take it easy, man.
But, yeah, so I mean, I heard about that with the spot nose because I do a lot of work with spot nose, and I don't want to do the Powerball.
Man,
I want
I
no part
had
of it.
no clue that there was. Well, I take that back. I had no clue that the mom had inchy and red stripe in her. The dad, I knew I would be making Powerballs, admittedly, but I didn't realize how. I didn't realize how drastic. Now the other sister to that, the other third world's first is with Jeremy at Nerd. Because he's a huge fucking Powerball guy. So, and he says she's enormous, and he said that she has 0 head wobble. So you see the different levels of, well, it might not affect this one, it'll affect this one more, it might affect that one. And dude, I don't want to take those odds.
Yeah,
You know,
I understand that. I still love Spider though, and I don't know. I'll keep going with Spider. It hasn't. I haven't gotten to a point where like I don't mind selling pet onlys, and there's plenty of people up there that like pet onlys.
yeah, dude, yeah. I mean, shit. Well, if you know, if I wasn't so knee deep in the Bloods and the Curtis and everything else, then I'm sure I would still do, you know, a Spider clutch every once in a while because, bro, they can be amazing animals. You know.
Yeah, like them and what they do with the cleaning up and raising the high white bellies, and I mean, so many different
Yeah.
variables.
I mean, dude, you can't. In all honesty, you really can't beat a Spider calico. You know.
No,
But I'm a
that's
huge
what I'm waiting for.
I'm a
I'm waiting
huge
for that.
I'm a huge calico guy. You know, that was like the lace of what I first got into. You know, and you know, something that's crazy is like I had like a I would say, in my opinion, a lot of friends and homies and everything through the ball python community. And the more that like I kind of moved away from, you know, ball pythons and shit, you notice like, man, there's a huge rift between, you know, the blood python and the ball python community. It's like one doesn't like the other, and if you do them both, you know, it's like there's certain people that do them both, which you know,
Oh,
Richard
forget
Crowley,
about the hybrids. The hybrids, you get people hate you over the hybrids.
buddy. You talk about getting crucified, son. I
Yeah, well, you
mean,
want to know something? Juggernaut that has them, and I've seen them in person, and they're fucking ridiculous. They're awesome.
yeah,
They're
yeah. I
awesome
mean,
snakes, man. Fuck that. They're cool, dude.
Elijah is crazy, bro. Some of the shit that dude has, yo.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
he's got shit that legitimately nobody else has. And you
dude,
know he's
I met him at the White Plains Expo.
yeah,
Uh, and I walked. I had no idea who he was, other than yeah, badass setup. The setup was beautiful, and but I walk up, and all of a sudden I see uh, blood balls. But he had like five of them on his table, and I was just like, it's an incredible animal, and it looks even better in person.
dude, it's got the head. I mean, I will say, you know, they do look good. They do look good. You know, but what I'm more of like this
Purity.
clutch this clutch that just when she just ovulated.
Chad's fucking hysterical. I just want to backtrack a little bit. So VIP Morph said, I look tired. I don't know if you noticed, but I am coughing. I feel like absolute dog shit. But my daughter, my daughter's systematic and she's been sick, and we brought her for a COVID test today. And we're waiting back on her from getting that. So please, fingers crossed that she does not have COVID, because
Holy shit, bro!
whatever my daughter has, I got.
You got it.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh yeah.
you'll definitely be in my prayers. I won't leave you hanging, man.
Yeah. So hopefully, fingers crossed, because I'm like everything that COVID kills. I'm a fat fuck that has diabetes, high blood pressure. So I'm hoping that she just got some sort of
A
flu. I'd
bug.
rather you know. So Vinny sees it. He said, I look tired. Like my eyes are extra slanty. But listen, man, I'm good to talk. I'm not going to fall asleep anyway.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're
Vinny, not
killing
nice.
me.
He's Asian. I know. They're tearing me up in here.
Damn.
Yeah, I want to get into the Bloods. I got to say, my favorite one, like, And it's not even favorite. Like I love the T plus and the T minus. I love the ones with the deeper oranges, and I like the ones with the deeper reds.
Right.
Uh, I never really got into like the white ones until I saw. I think Gomez got that one from you. Gomez. Sal's bought a few snakes from you, right?
Sal's not bought anything from me. No,
What?
I think Sal got that from Giant Keeper. I think that's a golden eye. No, I think what he's got that golden eye combo, and he's got that. I think it's an ivory. Sal, what do you got, man?
Make sure you keep you in that shirt when they bury you.
God, brutal.
Just remember, I'm gonna be like my father. My father, he wants a smiley face when he dies. So you're gonna
I
see me like
just,
this.
damn.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Sal's got me wanting blood pythons again. You make me want to get blood. You know, you guys post these pictures, and I mean the elegance of the ball python, especially that they're like the rhinos
they
of the
are.
python world. You know, they're just so freaking diesel. That head is so big, and the way and aggressive.
Yeah,
When it gets to the tip of the face, I mean, there's so many badass things.
it's the
Matt
closest
Turner.
thing. Matt Turner, that's right. He got a fucking Matt Turner animal. I knew he got that shit from. Now Matt Turner, bro. Matt Turner is like game changer shit. Having an Sal got the Sal did see. Look at that. Do you know what that animal's gonna produce? Nothing but fucking fire. Sal set himself up for in about 2.5 to 3.5 years. Sal's going to be making some of the nicest blood pythons that the
Hopefully, I can
people
buy one.
that the people he bought them from, you know what I'm saying, are going to be like, "Whoa, that's a nice animal." You know, I mean,
Yeah.
dude, Sal's my fucking blood python brother, man. We were doing, I think it was Saturdays. We were doing blood python Saturdays there for a while. But I started just posting blood pythons every day. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. He's got to rub it in that he's got a fucking golden lily, too. Lily, whatever they say. See, Sal's
Sal
got the shit.
Sal was talking about that. He was talking to you to be a guest before me and him broke up, and he stopped doing live streams with me.
Yeah.
Uh,
We were going to do it. He had mentioned it to me about it. And, I know he got busy and shit. And, dude, I got crazy busy. So at least he's here, and me and you are really doing it.
yeah, you know what? I was like, I was like, you know what? Let me get Matt in here. So I just,
Yeah.
randomly sent you a message, and
I'm
you were
glad you
down.
did. I'm glad you did, bro. I think that's how it's supposed to be, Like, hey man, I got this thing. You should come talk on it. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't that's my thing, is that I don't reach out to people for shit. Unless it's like a homie, or like promoting myself, things like that. But I mean, like, I might ask if I have a question, about the care of an animal or what I should do in a situation. I have a tight knit of people that I very luckily have, that I can call at any time. You know what I mean? And I think that's cool, man. Is like when people reach out to each other and they're like, "Hey, come do this thing." It's like, hell yeah, bro, I'll be there. I'll do what I got to do. I'll get it done.
Yeah.
Because so many folks have a podcast thing now. It's crazy, man. It's like the new YouTube channel almost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's that's what's cool about the inner circle with the ball python world. Um, I don't know about Bloods because I'm not in that club yet, but I will be one day. Once I'm already running out of room for snakes for ball pythons, so I just
Yeah, and I mean the fucking Bloods take like Christmas tree storage tubs when they become an adult.
Yeah,
So
and that's what I'm going through with the boas.
yeah. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
But
What do
mine
you
are
have them
small.
on?
I have two boas that are small. My male's 800 grams. It's a junglo, and then I have a female that's around 800 grams. That's a clutch bait of that one. She's only 800 gram. She's a jungle albino. I got
Right.
them before I knew you can't breed jungle to jungle. Well, you can, but it doesn't make sense. That's
Yeah.
even worse than wobble because they have short lives and can't reproduce most of the time. But
See,
I
I
was
don't
on.
know too much about the boas, man. I'm not
I
that
didn't
that's
either.
a
But I was on Facebook, and it's like upstate New York, reptile club or bullshit,
yeah,
one
right.
of those Facebook groups,
Right.
and someone put, "I need a home for my boa ASAP," and it was like 4-year-old female, possible super hypo, possible het cow albino female, and I'm like I must have just opened up Facebook, and I must have been the first person to seen it, and I was like, I will take it,
Right now.
free to a good home.
Holy shit.
So 30 minutes later, I'm going on a 45-minute ride. I picked the snake up. It was an 18-pound, 4-year-old, perfect health, possible super hypo, super from a reputable breeder. I contacted a reputable breeder. She won it on a raffle 4 years ago, and it was like crazy. Her ex husband killed her son's bird that morning, so she was afraid that he was going to kill the snake.
Right.
So that's why she was so desperate. And I was like, well, I got a 4 foot boa file that's empty
There
and
you
just
go.
ready to plug in.
Yeah.
So I've had the junglo to it because hopefully it proves out albino. If not, it'll be het. And she's a big girl, man. I mean, I can't, 18 pounds is a lot for a snake. I couldn't even believe
That's
it when I weighed
I mean, dude, that's a full grown fucking blood python, bro. I mean, bees she's she's in shed. She's in her prelay shed, so I probably won't pull her out, but like, yeah. Dude, you gotta have the OGs, man. And the thing is that you get with these OGs and they're like, yo, I mean, like, dude, my girl is Tracy Barker, hands down. We talk usually once a week, if not bi-weekly, and she's like, "What are you doing? What's going on? How this and that and this and that." And dude, that woman has, and she has helped me so much. And not only like has she helped me, she's helped me like forward things in my business, because it's all business. It's a business. It is what it is. It takes time. It takes money away from your family. Gives your family money, but it takes time away from them. So in my eyes, I consider myself a blue collar worker, even though I'm a tattooer. Anything that takes time away from my family is work. And so, you know, dude, she has been amazing, an amazing help. And we've got loads of people in the ball python community that have helped. me and stuff. When in the beginning, if I ever have a problem, there's multiple people I'll reach out to. You have to have those OGs. But the
Oh yeah.
thing is, the majority of them are so tired of these fucking 1-year breeders that know everything, they stop posting on Facebook,
Oh yeah.
or they just get out. They get out of social media altogether because the shit is like, they get tired of arguing with people. They're like, "Look, I've been doing this since you were in grade school. Shut the fuck up and listen to me." You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh yeah.
And it's too bad because people could have some of the best information given to them, and they're too stupid to listen. You
Yeah.
know?
One of my buddies, he's one of my main mentors. I have three. I have three strong mentors. I got John from Snake Man's Exotics,
There you
who
go.
breeding snakes over 25 years. Vinny Meyer, he's in here. VIP Morphs.
Yep, Vinny. I know Vinny.
You know,
I
he's
mean,
up
I don't
there in
know
the years.
personally. Yeah.
And then number three is Doug Matusak from Bow Basement. And he's like 30 plus years. And he's like, it's crazy talking to Doug because Doug is not on any social, he posts videos of his snakes and that's it. He does YouTube videos of just what's for sale. He's so old school. He's still only selling snakes on Fauna
King Snake.
Classified and King Snake. Yeah.
That's awesome, bro.
That's actually how we cross paths because my original passion, like ball pythons, I was kind of like dancing around with different morphs that I liked, when I was adding to the collection. And then I crossed paths with seeing a double het hypo clown in like 2016.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want that snake. And that was like my goal. And I found it on King Snake, Bow Basement. Doug produced the first clown hypos in 2008. So that was like huge,
Right.
So I asked him about prices. I didn't have the money. And I was like, well, hopefully when I have the money I can, because that's my dream to really step into this project, And a year later, he responded back and emailed me and was like, hey, just so you know, I got a bunch of clutches this year. Or it may have even been 2 years later. He was like, I got a bunch of clutches this year with the Clown Hypo project. Are you still trying to get into that project? And that was it. We've been buddies since. And
Yeah.
these are the guys that tell you how it is,
Right. Yeah. I mean, dude, and that's almost verbatim how mine and fucking Tracy's relationship started. I emailed her and emailed her and emailed her for. I'll show you what I emailed her about in for. Let me see how we're doing today. Now this animal is a caramel albino Sumatran short tail.
Oh
And
shit! It's like lightning.
dude, he has definitely, uh, the I reached out multiple times for that male specifically, and she kept writing. She wrote me back after a month or so, and she said, right now we're not going to be doing any sort of shipping because it was sad. Because it was in the middle of COVID and all that shit, whatever, blah blah blah. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll reach back out to you. And it was like months later, and I reached out to her, and I was like, "Hello, Miss Barker," and she's a Texas girl. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if she was born and raised in Texas, but she's lived there long enough to where she appreciates, being polite and yes ma'am, no ma'am, and shit like that. And dude, I sent her and Dave some shirts and like, they sent me like this like book. Because I asked her, I was like, "Do you guys have any shirts or anything?" And she was like, "No, but we have the books." And I was like, "Okay, cool, cool." She's like, "Well, do you want one?" And I was like, "Are you gonna charge me for this book? Like, is this like what are we like?" And we didn't really talk about money. Like, I didn't ask that because I didn't want to be a jack off and be like, "Are you gonna fucking charge me?" But dude, so she sent me this like, and I look at it on their website, and it's like a $300 book. And she's like, "Here, just take that and check it out, see what you think." And I was like, "Okay." And man, it was just she she's really been a great help. Her and Nick Bettini from Cold Blooded Earth. I mean, they've all been insane. Insanely cool when they didn't have to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because so many people hold on to that, like, "Oh, this motherfucker's trying to take my money. He's going to be breeding these snakes and this and that." And that's what's so cool about the people that I've run into in the blood python community is that they encourage you. They're like, "Oh man, I saw that ovulation, bro. That's so cool." Damn, you got a $20 super chat on that one. Yeah.
Marino, my man Marino. Marino's one of my first customers, actually.
Hell
And he's
yeah.
like, he's another brother from another mother. I
I
mean,
got you. I've
this
got
guy
plenty of
shows
those.
so much love. He was rocking a shirt, a DMJ reptile shirt I gave him 4 years ago. And
Damn.
it's in mint condition. And it's a white shirt. I don't know how the hell he does it. I can't even be in the same room with a white shirt. I'm gonna stain it.
The only reason I wore this one is because I was shirtless before I walked into the snake room. So I was just like, "There's Joel's shirt, whatever."
Thanks a lot, Marino. Yeah, in that angle, like John was the same way with me. Like when I first got in, I bought my 3rd through 7th snake off John, Snake Man's Exotics. And yeah, I didn't know. I went to what happened was we moved down to Westchester, New York. My mother was not doing well. She was having some health conditions.
Now, is
And
it called Winchester? Is it called something else? Or is that
Westchester,
Worcester? Is that
no, Westchester County.
so you say it like Westchester?
Yeah, it's Westchester, but it's one word.
Westchester.
Yeah. So we
Okay.
moved down there, and the childhood reptile expo, I drive by this building all the time, and eventually I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get a Sunday off and go to the show. And I went to the show, and this other guy, Mike, who I'm good friends with, I bought 2 pastels because I was gonna make a super pastel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, man, then hell, fucking hey, dude,
That
you
was
know,
the shit, and that's what I did. And I bought those 2 snakes, and then at the next show, I went and I saw John from Snake Man's Exotics, and then I bought a bumblebee from him because then I wanted to make a killer bee. Make
but,
super
but those are
pastels.
nice snakes.
Yeah.
Those
Oh
they
yeah.
look good to this
And
day.
and John could have been like everybody else. Like I always say, in the last 5 years, the reptile world has just changed so much.
Oh yeah.
People are out to help because people are realizing now that it's more beneficial to educate people and make sure that people getting these animals have the best experience ever, because it is so fucking easy to go on Reptile Basics and spend $350 and buy a 6 high snake rack and get your ass back to the Reptile Expo and buy 4 more snakes,
Exactly.
and it's just better to do that. It's just good juju, good karma. You're helping people out, and it's only going to benefit the reptile world as a whole by doing that. And John walked me through, and we spent hours on the phone before I even bought the second snake, and I ended up getting some bad. I mean, I got the Enchi spider. Love my Enchi spider. The Stinger bee. I got what else did I get from him? A super pastel clown, a pastel clown, a leopard pinstripe. And he kind of guided me through, and he would explain to me what projects he was going for and why and what was the pairing, and he kind of told me how it is, like everything. It sucks. You're gonna, shit happens. You'll have a snake that you invested all this money in, and you find it sleeping on its back.
Oh, bro.
And
yeah, that's
the worst feeling ever.
the first time that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. I have a problem with staying on track. I have extreme ADD. So, but that's
Yeah,
one thing we were talking about earlier was, you had said that, your boas, because you set them out in the sunlight, and it's all learning experiences. I mean, that you'll never do that again. Well, my first year breeding, while we produced animals, we lost a male because I was going off the directions of a major YouTuber who said, leave them in for 4 days, take them out for 3. Leave them in for 4 days, take them out for 3. I literally bred this male to death. And I don't got no problem admitting that, bro. I didn't know what I was doing. It was my first year. I hadn't really gotten on Instagram, and YouTube was kind of like what I got my information from, and there wasn't that many YouTubers doing this shit 3-4 years
no,
ago. So he 3 days in, no, 4 days in, 3 days off, and I went on that schedule until I saw an ovulation. And dude, I came home one day from work, and yeah, he was sleeping on his back, and it was like, damn, okay. And it was pretty clear what I had done, and I felt naive, you
yeah,
know. But I mean, like I said, it was my first year. I've learned quite a bit since then, you know. That sucks, but I have no problem admitting fucking up, learning from my fuck ups. Um, what I'm okay with, what I'm not okay with, what would overload me, what would, not. I mean, there's people like, and it's crazy. People want to offer you free snakes. Hey, man, I don't have any space for this. Would you be interested? And it's like, no, as much as I appreciate it, I don't have space for it.
yeah,
Everything in here, there's a whole, like, where are we at? Okay, so there's a whole CB70 rack right here that only has 3 animals in it, and it's like 11 high, but it's for all the babies that are going to be big enough to fit in there one day until they get, and you can see this is sitting on an FB70 rack. Here, let me see. So where are we going? How do we do this? Hold on. Oop. So, okay, there we go. Yeah, so you've got the FB70s right here. And I mean, so that's BB, that's Beatrice, the one that just ovulated. And you can see what a full grown blood python looks like in an FB90, it's not, I mean, and she's obviously getting ready to have a clutch, so I mean, dude, they require a lot more space than ball pythons, and that's something that
yeah.
people getting into them have to understand. So,
Oh hell yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
another important aspect of keeping blood
Right
pythons
in.
that not many people think about is ventilation. Ventilation is extremely important
Yeah.
because they piss so much, bro. I mean, and I know it's like funny and shit, but I mean, dude, when I first got like multiple, and I was like, oh my god, I'm in this motherfucking room all the time cleaning piss. Like this sucks. And I really thought about like, oh, do I want to do this? I only have a few. And then it was just like they kept coming and coming and coming. And so,
Yeah.
you spend a lot of time cleaning pee. Hope you better like that,
Yeah.
that comes
Oh
with it.
yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't mind it. I feel like I'm a big so I have ADHD as well. And I like to multitask.
oh
And
dude, all day.
I fucking if I'm watching a podcast or I feel like at some point you become dedicated to your people, your
Yeah.
YouTubers. So it's like you feel like you have to comment, you have to watch their video, you have to not skip their commercials. You got like all the shit to just help a brother out, and
Right, right.
I mean, what's better than so I have a TV in my living room where all my reptiles are. And then in the rodent breeding facility, I have a TV in there. I have a 20-inch TV in there too. So something's always playing, whether it's YouTube or whatever anime I'm binging on.
There you
Uh,
go. My
yeah,
thing, too, I get caught up in, like, because we don't, there for a while, we were putting out so many YouTube videos. That's something you can say about Sal, bro. Sal is religious about putting content out, and that's what it takes. My problem is, you and I just don't give a fuck. I mean, I'm not. I do kind
right.
of. Yeah, that's
That's one
awesome,
of my
man.
coworkers, man.
Oh,
Me and him
cool,
worked
cool.
together. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Braden.
Hell
You are the
yeah.
man.
But I realized that, I was like putting out shit that didn't really matter. And it was like I'm just making videos that everybody else has made. There was a fucking dude that reached out to me not that long ago and was like, "Hey man, are you not worried about Matt from Olympus Reptiles came to the house and checked everything out, and he did a video and shit. And he was like, "So you're not at all worried about being monetized?" And I was like, "No, bro. I go to work every day. I don't need $30 from YouTube. I'd rather fucking be able to go fuck you, fuck, and play 3-6 Mafia behind my music and not have to worry about that."
Yeah,
I mean, that's that's why I do it. I started doing the shit for me, and then I kind of got off on some different type shit, and then I realized that I need to do it for the same reason I've always done it, and that's for me. I mean, I do notice that here recently, I use my rodent holder as a back scratcher sometimes, but uh, I've noticed that recently a lot more people want to see blood pythons than they did like long ago. So I mean, I really do. Back to the blood python thing, I really feel like there's so much because everybody's in the blood, everybody's in ball pythons because of the different morphs and the different shit there is. And oh, this one's yellow. Well, I like the dark ones. Well, I like the light ones. And I mean, bro, I can pull out a fucking white. You see Sal's. You
yeah.
know, perfect example, Sal's. And I mean, so here is another good example of now. This is the sire. Oh, dude, don't fuck me up on the live. But this is a VPI stripe, And this is the sire to that beautiful, beautiful animal. But that's the sire to Bee's Clutch. So, you know, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. That the future is so wide open for the blood python market because there's so much shit left to do.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, you have the option of line breeding to make the reddest of the reddest, or the ones with the most yellow heads to the most yellow heads. I mean, you know, and it's all polygenic. That's the thing, you know. But I mean, after a while of the polygenesis taking over, you just produce red animals. You know, Kevin Martyr, Kara Norris. These people are perfect examples of years of, uh, you know, line breeding for the reddest of the reddest of the reddest, or this one has these crazy black spots on it and I want to enhance that. And
Yeah.
you do. And over time, after so many, you know, after a decade of line breeding, then you just have animals that produce what you want. So there's just so much left to do, dude.
It's on my radar, man. I really want. I mean, like I said, I fell in love with the blood pythons. I want to say about 4 years ago. I went to my buddy's apartment. And he, you know, he had he had, he had he has a golden child retic, and he had a T plus blood python female, full grown, massive animal.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and you know, the retic was cool. I liked the retic. I definitely want a retic in my life, but I need to get the fuck out of New York before I can do that because
Right.
I won't do illegal animals. It's just, you know, I have too much invested into my company where, you know, if someone tried to give me a rescue snapping turtle, I wouldn't even take it in because I just can't
You
want
can't
no
risk
part
it.
of that. Yeah,
Right.
it's not worth it.
Right.
But I was in the market for a male T positive because he's not a breeder, but he was like, "Hey, man, we can breed him." And that's how I met Juggernaut because I was going to buy his blood off of him, but it wasn't meant to be. I wanna get once I have a full facility, and once the facility is set, and I can take on these large animals, and I can have, you know, 6 high stacks of
Big
bullfile.
animal. Right.
Yeah, you know, something big for these animals that, you know, that they 100% deserve it. Because they're awesome. I mean, there's something about the blood. I mean, that I had one. I had just a regular common short tail, and I mean, he was thicker than a 2 liter bottle of soda.
Oh yeah.
We
It's
we named
all
him
in
Vader.
it's all in the head, man. The head is like the closest thing that we can get to
What's going on,
I mean,
Justin?
a, a gaboon viper that you'll get. You
Yeah,
know, I mean, and they have about the same temperament, to be honest with you. Like, you could just be sitting there chilling. You've had this animal for years, nothing has ever sketched it out. And then one day it just fucks you up because you moved left instead of right, you know?
yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of what you get into with
Comes
getting
with the
into these
territory.
animals.
Yeah,
You have to understand that. You know, I've been lucky enough to not been tagged by anything that's of substantial size. You know, now there is some animals in this room that I haven't touched my bare hands to their body because of the fact that as soon as they feel my fingers on them, they're ready to fucking fuck me up. So
so you're
old hooky
double hooking?
all day, bro. Yeah.
Really? You can't even touch the tail?
Not in the slightest.
It's crazy.
I
And they're
mean,
I mean, and they're so fucking muscular. You know, like when you
dude, they will literally launch out of the tub at you. You know, I mean, and you know, it's just what they are. That's just how they are. There are some that, you know, I've actually ordered a large python hook from Venom Life Gear or whatever, because I have the fucking 2015 Martyr Stripe down there that every time I go to touch her, and she's a 15, 20 pound animal. Dude, she's launched out of that FB90 before at me on a live stream with Jeremy from Nerd. Dude, I screamed like a bitch. I was like, ah! It scared the living shit on me. What was that?
it was my buddy Braden, he said, any advice on a good beginner snake or pythons? Too
Ball
much for a
python.
beginner? Yeah, I mean, Brandon, you know, your family, brother. We'll talk. We'll get a python in your life, and we'll decide what kind of setup will be perfect for it, and I'll walk you all through, and maybe I'll even ship a snake to Vegas to you. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Got to take care of the family, man.
Well, that's like the whole thing with like, don't they say if you want to get a gaboon, then contact a blood python or short tail breeder and ask them for a vicious one
Yeah.
because if you get used to the strike distance, the temperament, and the personalities are supposed to be so alike, even just their aggression.
Oh, bro, every bit of it. I mean, like, dude, like seriously, there's a female down here that has never. And another thing that is pretty crazy with blood pythons is that if they get too hot, they'll be insta pissed. Like they need to be. Okay, so right now my room is at 82 degrees and it's 53 to 57% humidity. That's ambient. That's probably why you see me wiping my head and shit because I'm hot as fuck. I'm chubbier and
Yeah,
shit. But they have that ambient and they have a hot spot. The probe is set to 83, but it's back heat. Now that's going to get to about 85, 86. Anything over 86, dude, you're dealing with a demon because they get too hot and they will be fucking livid, bro.
really.
Oh, it's bad.
I,
Bad,
I
bad,
got
bad.
nervous with mine because so I was trying to get. I had a blue tongue skink that someone kind of forced upon me. I didn't want. I did want it, but I didn't want it. I ended up getting it, and I was waiting to rehome that to put this short tail into. So I had the short tail, and she was a big girl. She was definitely in a tub too small for her. She was in one of those Starlight 60 quarts, the bigger ones.
Yeah.
But she was on a shelf, a storage shelf on a rack. I put a heat pad on it and a probe, and it had its own thermostat. But with that tub, it had a lid on it, and I had duct tape so that she couldn't work out the corner.
Holy
But
shit.
what I would do is I would always like take the duct tape off to feed her, and after a while, the tacky runs out. So I had an open spot on my 41 quart ball python rack, and I got a cat, a young cat, and I could tell like the cat's the best because let's say there's a rat still in the bin, he'll be right by that bin trying to scratch the bin, and I'll know, oh shit, must not have eaten, grab the
Right.
rat. So I could tell his posture. Also, I see his posture like, what the fuck is that? It's on the second shelf, 10 inches off the ground, full grown female short tail boa, coiled up on the heat pad of the rack. She got out of the tub, and then the nearest hotspot was the rack next to her. So she went on the rack, just sitting there, no tub. And that's set at 90 degrees. It's a ball python rack. But
Right.
and she was right on the heat tape. But let me tell you, I mean, But he was. I grabbed the hook to be cautious because I always do that with the larger snakes. I mean, better safe than sorry. If you
Yeah.
if you tap them with the hook, especially ball pythons, it automatically that cold temp will get rid of the reaction for food. Um,
And that's
granted,
really all it is. That's all it is a food reaction or an instant defense. They're like, oh my god, I'm about to get eaten.
yeah. But
I
yeah,
mean,
Mater came out cool, man. I did a quick photo shoot with him while he was out because he was tub aggressive.
right.
So like feeding him in the tub with the lid was always tricky because I would take the tape off and then I would prefer to open the tub opposite of his head, but that fucker was quick, you know. So as soon as I went to touch the clip, he just turned right around. He's ready to go. So I would
Yeah.
have to like have my son stand over here to keep his attention, so I could slip in on the other side and bring the jumbo rat in for him. And
Did you feed them live or frozen?
I fed him frozen. So even frozen, like I feel like live's easier because you can just clip open, whip, you know. Where
But the thing
frozen,
is, that
you gotta
the,
get it through that edge.
yeah, dude. And one thing I've learned is that they will actually go after frozen harder than they will live.
Yeah, he was like that.
Hmm.
Frozen, as soon as you open it, he would strike.
Oh, as
But
soon as they
live,
smell it, bro.
yeah,
Like,
but live,
I,
it would walk around first, and then he would line up and then just slam it. I mean,
yeah.
that's the other thing.
When I
That
have when I'm feeding frozen thawed in the room, um, I don't open a tub unless it's to feed, and I've learned which ones to open with the hook because they will just like literally if they smell it, like you learn which ones to feed first to avoid that, you know.
yeah,
But the majority of them are right there waiting for that. As soon as
right.
they
And they hit
smell it.
something. Now,
I mean,
and they can, what is it, 70% of their length they can strike, right? Or
oh, every bit of it, every bit. That's why and I'm in a 10 by 10. I think we measured this. It's probably 10 by 10 room. Um, and so like trying to do things in here and this and that with like racks everywhere, it's really hard, especially with an animal that can literally like leap across the room at you. But
that's
you deal with it.
I want bloods. I can't wait. Like I keep building these racks and then like I sent you the pictures of those
Yeah.
the FB8 racks I just built. Excuse me. And I'm putting snakes into them from 6 quarts and I'm going I need bigger tubs or like I need the next rack has to be bigger tubs. Cuz over the years it adds up.
Yeah.
You every year I'm averaging about 16 to 20 holdbacks.
Wow.
Yeah, and
But
then
that's why you do it, though. That's what it's all about.
and oh, definitely. And this year it's going to be even worse cuz just one male, I'm breeding I am working his ass, but he's been eating through the whole process and I started with 3 females and then now it's 3 more females. Um
Get it?
it's a female maker banana desert ghost hepide. Yeah. So he's probably my nicest snake in the collection, I would say, that I purchased.
Yeah.
And I only have one other snake that's just a normal double het desert ghost orange ghost. So like he's going to 3 pieds, one's a pastel pied het orange ghost. He's going to a cine het pied, a regular het pied, and a leopard lesser pastel. Because I think lesser and desert ghost. I haven't seen many of them.
Right.
And leopard goes good with fucking anything. And pastel,
Anything.
people don't like pastel, but pastel does great with Xanthic. It does great with desert ghost, orange ghost, or regular hypo. I mean, there's, and I think that combination will be some nice hets. You know.
I mean, dude, the guy from JD Constrictors that made the Stormtrooper animal.
Yeah.
That's nothing but a Firefly TSK example.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, pastel, bro. Pastel is such a fucking underrated gene. And like you said, leopard. Leopard is an underrated gene as well. I mean, leopard makes everything better in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it does.
I mean,
And the leopard I bought, I told you, the fourth snake I bought was a leopard pinstripe.
yeah.
I bought that snake in 2015. I've only gotten one clutch out of her. That's it. Yeah, but odds gods are odds, and odds are odds. The calculator's bullshit, and I love saying that.
Right.
I bred a GHI chocolate head hypo to it, and I actually hit 2 GHI chocolate leopard females.
Holy shit.
And I held back both of them.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, 2019s, and their eaters are already over 1,000 grams. I'm like, and they were late 2019s, so it should be now. Now it's a toss up of what am I going to breed to it,
Right.
They're possible het hypos, and I'm paying off a Enchi. What am I paying off? Fuck. What is it? An Orange Dream Enchi hypo male, and it's a 2019.
That's what you're going to pair to them.
I think so. I think that's one of the. I think at least one of them. Maybe I'll do it 1 year, because then I'm like, fuck. What if I breed? What if I also produced a black pastel chocolate possible het hypo male.
Damn,
so
that was nice.
So if I breed that and go for the super GHI super chocolate leopard hypo,
which will be nuts.
Yeah.
Super GHI in itself is just nice, man. I mean,
yeah.
Such a crazy combo, and there's not much done with it.
No, no, it's been around, and it's just not, and it's not even like it's spot nose or something that has issues. It's just something that that's the beauty of the ball python world. I get asked about a lot of these new genes that everyone gets and stuff, and I'm kind of like, I haven't really added any new genes. I've most of the snakes I've added to my collection are just more stacked with genes that I'm already working with, that instead of me producing that animal and then waiting for that animal to breed, I'm trying to get a step ahead,
Yeah.
I talk about it about JKR, for example. Like this guy exhausts these morphs. He breeds everything and anything in a project to be able to say, well, look at that. Like, who would have fucking thought that a black pastel, red stripe, leopard clown would look
like it looks
the way it does? It's awesome. So, I mean, that's why I'm like, I need to exhaust what I have before I jump into other projects, because what I'm noticing with my collection is it's these double recessives that are just kind of. It's like every year I add a new one. It started with clown hypo, then pied hypo, then albino pied, now orange ghost, no, desert ghost pied, and then even TSK Xanthic. It's funny you said about CD constrictors. The TSK Xanthic, I bought out a friend's collection that was getting out, and I
Yeah.
bought 1 male, 4 females, all 100% het TSK. And I didn't like Xanthic. I honestly didn't like Xanthic. I look at pictures, I see him at tables. I was like, yeah, they turn brown. You
Right.
know, they fucking brown out. You know, and I mean TSK, not TSK, VPI. Nothing against VPI. It's the most popular one, but I do believe that the VPIs brown out. They brown out
They
more
do.
than the TSK.
I mean, TSK,
Uh,
in my opinion, and I'm obviously a fucking Tracy Barker fan, but TSK, in my opinion, if you're going to stack jeans and expect it to not have color, you gotta have TSK.
yeah, and
I mean,
dude,
VPI totally browns out. You're absolutely right, and I mean that's another thing with blood pythons is that they only get better with age, like fine wine and cheese.
yeah,
Only gets better with age. You don't have to worry about a blood python browning out. That's for sure.
hell no, because it's amazing that you can see a hatchling. Like when I look at the T positives and I follow people that have them because that's really the blood that's the blood python I need. I need T positive in my life. Um, you see the hatchlings, and as you see them grow, how different parts of the body will become bigger. So the red
Yeah.
may be small and tight when it's a hatchling, but then all of a sudden when it's bigger, it's like got these 3-inch fucking rails of red on them. And you're like, holy shit! Like that snake,
Yeah.
looks 1,000 times better.
And
Ball python world, you got to work with certain genes that do that.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you do in the blood python world as well. You can't just go to like, the Ben Siegel auction and get a normal blood and expect it to be the reddest thing ever. I mean, that's one reason that you buy the animals from who you buy them from. Because
Yeah.
they put the time into pretty much making what you want. That's why you're talking to those people. But yeah, man, we've got quite a few, projects in the making, but it'll be probably numerous years before. And you know what? I'm okay with that, dude. That's what it's about.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. I mean, this year, obviously, B is a VPI T-pos matrix, and the sire was a VPI stripe. And hopefully, if I'll check them real quick, but damn it, y'all. Hopefully, the Curtises haven't locked up since November 27th. She's still eating, but we're going to produce some orange head Curtis hopefully this year if she goes. Again, they haven't locked back up since November, which sucks, but they locked up a couple of times at my big brother's house before he shipped them here. So, hopefully we'll have an ovulation, but I'm okay with 2 or 3 clutches a year, man. I don't need to set any records or do anything like that. I'm just more focused on creating what I want to see and beautiful animals. I mean, that's what's important.
Oh yeah.
And the future of the orange head Curtis, Sumatrans, Python Curtis, the future of that is just insane. the different levels of things and things I would like to do with it. Because again, it's all polymorphism. So I mean, there's quite a few things I have in mind I'd like to do. So probably selectively breed some animals for about the next 7-8 years and see what happens.
See what
So
you get. Yeah, and the Bloods have decent sized clutches, right?
they
So
do. They have like 19 to 25 eggs, and she's enormous. So hopefully everything goes well. Hopefully, I pray that she doesn't, God forbid, get egg bound or anything like that. Because she is a big girl. That's one thing that you have to worry about with. And I'm not saying she's obese or overweight, but to beef her up for breeding season, she was getting every 2 weeks 2 large rats.
holy shit.
But that only happened for about a month and a half.
Yeah,
And
because they take on the weight pretty quick.
they do. And then I didn't have to literally feed her. She stopped eating 2.5 months ago. You know what I mean? Because she didn't really need to eat. Now there are animals that will eat the entire time through pregnancy until they lay eggs. But we'll just have to see how it goes, man. It's all a learning process.
Yeah.
Just surround yourself with good people that don't care to help you out. And that's really it, man. You've got to have a mentor system, because trying to do it on your own and learning from YouTube videos and shit like that isn't going to do everything you need done.
Oh yeah.
You have to have and establish a relationship with somebody that knows what the fuck they're talking about.
Definitely. And you also need people looking from outside in. Because it's like you your brain can bring it in all different directions. Your brain can be your worst enemy, where you see something that you're questionable about, and then now you're like, oh well, is it this? It's like when you feel like dog shit and you go on Google and you punch in what is wrong with you. You know,
Yeah, you got brain tumors and shit.
you're better off going to someone and saying, hey man, bouncing everything off. Um, Me and Gomez Pythons, me and Sal, we always do that. And it's funny because there's been scenarios where like he's like, "What do you think about this snake?" I'm like, "Oh, it's nice." You know, I I was like, "Oh, I was like, I liked stuff about the snake."
Yeah.
Well, this guy's got a candy this, and I'm like, candy blackhead. I'm like, he's like, I'm thinking about it, but I don't know if I should go with this. I'm like, dude, you're fucking all about candy. Why are you blackhead and candy? You gotta get blackhead in your. And then
Yeah.
almost breeder size male blackhead candy. It's like, dude. And
Yeah.
then, he was
Sal's
like, I gotta
big.
call you back. I'm calling him up right now. You
Sal's
need
on
that.
that candy shit, dude.
I know he got me on the candy now too.
He's
He
like
sent,
for he's like for real bringing it back.
yeah,
You know, and that's it's cool seeing that, in my opinion, because that makes other people excited about it. When they see somebody's enthusiasm and they're like, yeah, this is fucking awesome. There's a lot of other people in the world that are like, yeah, this is awesome.
oh yeah,
Because they feed off that energy. I mean, that's
and
great,
he's got
dude.
some fucking bangers in that collection. I mean, that candy pie he produced, the leopard candy male he's got. Now the
I've seen
blackhead
them.
candy male. I mean, fuck. And he's doing like the stuff I like, you know. Um he so like the jeans I really like, I just introduced blackhead into my collection last year. Um But blackhead, black pastel leopard, those three right there. I mean, the
Dude,
darks, those are the ones I like. GHI. I like cinnamon too.
cinnamon's
You know,
good. Cinnamon's good. Blackhead. Um, we produced our
mahogany.
first
That's why I need mahogany. That's why I need.
mahogany. Dude, mahogany is with the right combos, it's a game changer. I
Later,
mean,
Elliot.
hey Elliot, what's up? Later, bro. Thanks for coming by, man.
Dude, Elliot is Elliot a dedicated follower for you?
He is. He is.
Dude, he is incredible. You know, he watched every video I posted.
Mine too, and commented on every one of them.
Every single two emojis, right? Two
Yep.
emojis on every
Two
single one.
movies.
Yeah, he told me he was gonna do it. And it took him a few weeks. I think I got 245 videos. And
Damn.
he commented on every single one of them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. He's Elliot's a fucking man. And on Instagram too. He's fucking everywhere. Facebook,
Everywhere.
Instagram.
Everywhere, bro. And dude, that's the kid that was actually asking me if the channel was monetized because he didn't see any commercials, and I was like, nah, bro, they're not gonna monetize me, man. I say fuck way too much.
Yeah, but if you watch my channel, I'm I don't want to. I mean, I'm kind of admitting it on live, but I don't hold back.
Yeah,
I just got monetized 2 weeks ago,
really.
and this is like over 4 years of me shooting video. You know,
What does it even mean? Like, you get a chunk of change for people running ads on your shit?
you put ads on, and they you get a percentage. You get like I think you get like a half a penny if they a quarter of a penny if they skip it, or a half a penny if they I don't know the details. You don't make shit. I like I haven't made anything really yet. It's been 2 weeks and I think we made like $4.
For 4
Whatever.
months, man.
$4 is $4. The cool thing about it, and I stole this idea from excuse me, from Sal, is my oldest son, my 12-year-old, he fucking does so much for me in the reptile world. I mean, he's really stepped it up in the last 6 months where he feeds all the geckos. And we have a shit ton of geckos. He helps me clean snakes. He helps me clean tubs. He helps me set up tubs. He's helping me build racks. You know, he sets up everything for the live streams every Friday. So
Damn.
I got to hook him up. So we came up with a deal, which I think is fair for a 12-year-old, that that he can make up to $100 a month. So the first $100 goes to him. But $1,200 a year for a 12-year-old is a lot of fucking money.
That's a lot of fucking money for anybody, bro. I
Yeah.
mean, shit. I mean, $1,200 a month for helping out pops. I can't
A
wait
year.
till.
$100 a month is the max he can make.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
But
1,200 a year. I mean, even like for a 12-year-old is you save all that. What are you gonna do at the end of the year, bro? You got like over $1,000.
yeah, I mean
So
that's Xbox, the new Xbox, the new PlayStation, extra remote for each, and a game. You know?
yeah. Everything you want me to buy, guess what? You're gonna buy now from work.
And then like he's being really cool about it, like smart about it. He's because he's my firstborn, and he obviously he's like it's crazy that he's like a young adult. Um, so he wants to get a computer. So I for Christmas and his birthday money and money that I pay him, he saved up, and I found him an awesome gaming computer. And
Sweet.
now we're running on $100 24-inch, Walmart TV, which is fine. But he
Right.
wants to get a gaming monitor, and he's got $200 to put aside. I mean, he's like, we're looking at monitors, and it hasn't really hit him where he wants it. He was like, well, we got the expo in March. I'll just save my money, and the money I make from the expo, I'll just buy the monitor I want. And I like looked at him like, yo, man, I can't believe that my child is done. Like, this kid has been the most irresponsible little slacker all of his life. Like if I'm not on top of him, unfortunately, he's at that point of his life where if I'm not on top of him, he'll let himself fail.
Right.
But with my guidance, he won't fail. Like I said, the Expos.
That's what being a dad's all about, man.
Yeah, it's definitely that changed my life.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta run and get a phone charger real quick. My fucking phone's got 5%.
Oh shit! It's vibrating too, so it's gonna go.
Yeah,
man.
All right, cool. I'll be right back.
Yeah, brother. So who else in the supermarket like I did after school? I worked at Grand Union when I was 14 years old with a lime green mohawk, and I had to ride my GT Comp freestyle bike 4 miles. Yep. And I had the longest lines because every kid wanted to be online with the cash register person with a lime green mohawk. So we still got 11 people in here hanging out. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. What's going on, Tom? I didn't even notice you made it. Thomas Morphs. Oh, fuck. It's crazy. I just keep on feeling sicker and sicker as the night goes by. Crazy. There's no show and tell tonight for me because I kind of quarantined myself into the bedroom and put a green screen up so you don't have to see my fucking ghetto ass bedroom.
All right, let's see. Let me get this thing plugged in here. There we go. Back at it.
So Tennessee. How far is Tennessee from like Virginia?
I mean, not really far. I'd imagine a couple of hours, maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm doing my first road trip. As long as I don't have the fucking COVID, I'm doing my first road trip. In February, I'm driving to Virginia to my buddy's house, who's a retired Army Ranger sniper.
Holy shit!
He's gonna teach me and my son how to properly shoot a firearm.
Of course, this is gonna be all fucked up now because I got a charger. So let me turn this fucking thing off, and so this light's not staring me in the face. And I'll just put you up in this. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, no worries, man.
It always sucks doing this with a phone, but. There we go.
There you go.
Woo! It's fucking hot as fuck in here.
It's opposite here. It's so cold.
Dude, I would take some cold.
I opened the window and I'm pretty sure that it's with wind chill, it's like negative something.
Damn.
Yeah, it's 7 degrees out. and it feels like it's -4. So we're doing a road trip, and we're gonna stop at Oaks, PA, to a reptile expo, and do a video at the expo,
Yeah.
and then we're going to Virginia to shoot off some really cool fucking firearms.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude, how
sniper
about
rifles, fully automatic weapons, silence, everything. He's got all the licensing in Virginia. You're allowed to have cool toys.
yeah, yeah.
So
You can have them here with the proper licensing. Have you ever shot a fully automatic weapon?
never.
Bro, that shit, like, it literally, like, climbs up on you. You almost have to, like,
Hold it down.
I hate to talk about things like that, but I mean, yes, I have fired a fully automatic weapon. But I mean, yeah, it will literally, like, you'll be, like, shooting up in the air because it just walks, you
Yeah.
know? It's the craziest shit ever, dude. And you'll go through 30 rounds in 3 seconds.
Yeah, we're gonna be he's got a few of them.
You'll
So
have a
it should
great
be
time.
fun.
Oh,
It should
yeah.
be fun. And then he has sniper rifles, which I've always wanted to shoot a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
So
I've never shot a sniper rifle. I imagine that would be pretty fucking legendary to shoot a sniper rifle, to be honest with you.
and I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post a video on my page.
Hell yeah, I'll check that out.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna record. It's all gonna be recorded. I'm half Asian, man. I record everything.
Right?
It's
Everywhere I go, I
true.
got a camera in my
We
hand.
like cameras. We take lots of photos. Even with my 2 megapixel Sony Cyber Shot in the '90s.
Hell, everything I do is through my phone, man. So I mean, you know, I'm not big into like the whole editing. Like if I can't do it from my phone, like I have so much other shit going on. Like that's why I watch Sal's videos and like his kids doing all this crazy editing and shit. And I'm like, damn, yeah, mine's on my phone, bro, through a fucking app.
Yeah, I use Power Director for every one of my videos
Yeah,
because
I'm
I'm
a
an
VivaCut
Android
guy.
guy. You're what?
I said I'm a VivaCut guy.
Oh, I don't even. Is that an Android or
Yeah, yeah,
Apple?
yeah. Android.
Sal's son Kyle is just. It's amazing because it just seems like every week the editing just gets even better than the week before. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
she is growing to be so good at editing. It's awesome.
And what's crazy is just from helping his dad out with his dad's channel, he could create a career from it if he wanted to.
Oh yeah, I need my son to learn how to edit. He's only 12 though. Kyle's got a few years on Junior, but
Right.
fuck, man. I mean, all the little things, and then even the thumbnails. Like Sal has the best thumbnails.
Yeah.
Like that. My thumbnails suck, and I know they do, but I'm not as creative as Kyle is.
I just make funny faces and put big, bright, bold letters around.
Pretty much what I go for too. I
Yeah.
try to add Jenny into a lot of my pictures because that kid's a fucking ham.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have ball python clutches this year?
Probably a couple. We've got a vanilla pin that was paired up to a blackhead yellow belly. That'll be really cool.
I will be.
Um, uh, what else? And a lesser fire that the last time she was locked up was to a pastel yellow belly cypress that actually went to Jerome. And what's crazy is he's already got that dude locked up there too. So yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I mean, this pastel, uh, a fire lesser. I'm sorry, a fire lesser. She has been one of the biggest pain in the asses because she might have Volta in her. So it's hard to tell if she's just an enormous fucking snake or if she's like rabid. You know.
Really?
So she's gone 2 years locked up. She's still like thick as hell and hasn't eaten in like 3 months. The last time she ate a large frozen thawed rat, and that was probably 2 months ago.
Oh, hell.
And she gets food offered, weekly, even ASFs, because we breed ASFs for trouble feeders, and she wants nothing to do with it, man.
Really?
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I have a few that fucking leopard pinstripe, man. You know, it took 4 years for her to almost 5 years for her to have a clutch.
Oh yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
dude,
I mean,
and that's another thing that always frustrated me. And what it did for me was it stressed me out. It raised my anxiety levels so high because I was like, oh fuck, what am I doing wrong that's not making this animal want to eat? And then it took me years to realize that that's just a fucking ball python.
yeah.
You could have moved its water bowl to the left side of the tub instead of the right side, and it's decided that it's not going to fucking eat for 6 months.
I call those asshole snakes.
Yeah, I mean they're
Yeah.
fucking, God, that makes me crazy, man.
I have a lesser fire hypo. And I'm pretty sure that it's a first ever, but even though all the three first evers I did produce, World of Balls never fucking posted it.
Oh
Which is
yeah,
all
they
good.
don't. They don't. The
Uh,
world of ball pythons, bro, is so fucking ridiculous. Anyway, I mean that shit. You go to Instagram or Facebook and see more worlds first than you can on world of ball pythons.
oh yeah, but I did the effort. That's what pissed me off. Like I did
Yeah,
everything. You do all the work. 'Cause it's not like, oh, we just snap a picture. No, they want to see after shed. They want all the information on everything. You type it all out in the email and you send it, and it's just like you're just sending it out to the air. You know,
yeah.
I
Because I mean, what do you got to be Brian Barczyk to get some shit posted on this motherfucker?
oh, man, I did in 2018. I produced the Lesser Fire. Um, it was Orange Ghost to Hypo. So I'm a firm believer that when you breed Orange Ghost to Hypo, since they both are hypos,
Yeah,
that the orange pigment in the Orange Ghost is um a dominant trait. So all the babies come out Orange Ghost. Um, so I had that. I had a Black Pastel Fire Orange Ghost. I produced two of those. Did all the shit for it, and I did. And also, it was 2018 was my year. I did a super enchy pastel pinstripe spider. Yeah, and I actually produced a second one this year and just sold it. Another female too, but I got a lot of spider in my collection. I got a lot of spider, and I do like spider. I just don't want to produce a ton of it.
right. I mean, spider's got its place, dude. You put calico in it. I
Well,
mean,
I just got my third latch with I bought it from Mike from Nice Balls.
yeah.
I bought a pastel sugar, and he labeled it possible OD, but he was pretty confident that it is OD, and I've already got it confirmed from a few legendary OD breeders that were like, "Yeah, I see OD." So I bred him to a Enchi Bumblebee.
Ooh.
Yeah, and she ovulated, and she just did a prelay shed earlier this week. So I'm like,
Oh my god.
oh, on. I palpated her. I felt 7 eggs. So I'm like, oh fuck! If I hit the if I hit a pastel sugar Enchi OD spider, it's just
Gonna
gonna
be
be a
good.
fucking crazy animal.
Oh,
I have
dude,
so
that's
we'll
gonna
see.
be insane.
I have a few exciting clutches. The TSK, we were talking about the TSK that I didn't like Xanthic, but I got the project because I bought out the collection. I said, well, I'll breed them and produce one, and maybe I'll hold back a female and eventually add that to my clown hypo project or my pied, whatever, some double recessive and go for the triple. So I didn't get one. I got one clutch last year, and this girl laid. These eggs were like 120 grams. They're huge, just like pills.
Right.
I thought I only got two eggs out of her. Holy shit, man! I cut one egg open. I hit the odds. It was supposed to be 1 of 4, and I hit that TSK Xanthic, and
Ooh.
that was it. I'm like, that's it. I'm sold. Like, okay, that project, because I didn't even know. I didn't even know that they were valuable.
Right.
Like, I never even looked it up. I didn't know that there's not a lot of them. So then
No.
I'm like, I hit it. I was like, I fell in love with it. I popped it. It's female. And then I was like, well, let me go on Morph Market and see what they go for. And I'm like, there's only like 40 of them posted, and single gene females go for like 400. I was like, fuck this. I'm keeping it. So, I'm letting
I'm
it
keeping
ride
this
this
shit.
year so I can produce more females. And I do plan on hitting up JD Constrictors for a nice male.
He's got the
He
best, man.
Yeah, man. He had one up there I really wanted, a leopard firefly TSK male.
Ooh. I
Yeah.
know. I know that was nice.
Yeah, man. I mean, it
That
was
was
so it was so reduced, but then it had that leopard, horizontal markings on it.
yes, dude.
But
I mean, that's essentially like a leopard stormtrooper.
yeah,
Oh
and
wow.
he had it listed. If I remember, it was a 2019 male. This was last year when I was looking at it, and he wanted $2,500, which I thought was a lot more than fair for that animal. Um, I just I'm not even in the budget. I'm doing payments on a very expensive snake. So $2,500. I was like, one when the day comes, it'll come around, and then I'll be able
Right.
to. Then I'll have those proven multi-year het TSKs, 3 of them.
Bro, and that's a gold mine.
I
You
think
know?
so, and I couldn't believe I didn't know.
I mean, it is what it is.
Do you
So
do you like? Are you like a morph market? Is that like one of
I
your
haven't been on
websites
Morph
you're on?
Market. I probably haven't been on Morph Market in over 6 months. If I, it, the thing is I, pay attention to certain people's breedings because a lot of these people have their own websites. And if you pay attention to their websites, they'll list their breedings for the year. Well, especially in the blood python world, because you can just go, hey, put me on the list for this if there's eggs. Like I already have a list for uh, bees babies with like 6 people on, and I'm not taking deposits by any means, but there's a list with people's names on it for babies, and that's one thing that's a little different in the blood python world is that people will legitimately, I mean, if they know and you put out there what you're doing, they will contact you and go, okay, this is what I want, you know, uh, I see you're doing this pairing, so let's put me
Be
on
in.
the list.
Yeah.
So I
And you
mean,
can't take a deposit because then it's bad karma. I learned that shit the hard way. Where merino, you already know pythons. Um, I cut the eggs and I hit a lesser hypo, and he was like, dude, I want that snake, and I was like, well, let's see if it's male or female. I pop it when it comes out. It's female. That weekend was the reptile expo, and Marino was like, here, man, here's my deposit, and just puts $100 in my hand. And I was like, oh, but yo, he hasn't eaten yet. What if he's like, well, I know you'll take care of me. And I'm very like, if a snake doesn't eat, I'll hold it back. I don't give a shit. It don't cost me a lot of money to keep snakes. So why not? I'm not going to sell a shitty eater to someone unless they have the experience and I can confidently say, hey, this snake is a shitty eater,
yeah, you'll have to take care of it. Yeah.
So my feeding regimen is minimum 10 meals, and the last 5 meals have to be in a row before I will release a snake.
Yeah.
So I don't sell none of my snakes are under 120 grams, and they all are slamming fucking food, and they're all also prepared if the customer lies to me about their setup and they put in a shitty setup, and now it's going to take a month for this snake to get a good meal, because unfortunately that's what happens. People know what to say to the breeder, and they lie, and then you get a picture of a snake in a tub with a purple sparkly fucking blanket and not eating. Um, because that just happened to me. But yeah, that fucking snake, dude. I had to I had to assist feed it, and I assist feeded it like 2 meals, and then it ate 3 meals in a row, and then it went off feed for a month, and then it had 3 meals in a row, and then went off feed again. And I'm like, now I'll never fucking take $1 on a snake
Bro,
because
I learned the same lesson this year. I had to refund. I had somebody pay me in full, and I was like, "Well, let's just wait. Let's just same scenario. Let's just wait. Let's just wait. Let it get some meals in it, and everything." And he was like, "Well, I'd rather just go ahead and pay you so I can know that it's me." I was like, "Well, it's yours. Don't worry about it, man. Just give me a $25 deposit." And that's something I know. If something fucks up, I can hand you $25 back. Well, this
yeah,
this this dude like paid for it. It's a fucking $300 snake. He's like, here, man, here's your money. Just let me know when it's ready. And I was like, all right. And yeah, well, I had to give him his money back because the fucking snake literally, after being assist fed for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, never took. We had 100% hatch rate this year from like 6, 7 clutches, but we had to cull maybe 3 because they never took to eating. All the rest of them, bro, like pounding food.
that
I mean,
sucks.
it really does suck. And one of the ones that had to be cold because I'm not going to sit here and let some snake just get skinny and expire and all that, and I just can't do it. Like if you're not going to eat after a month, you know, because there's numerous that I've had to assist feed that it's taken after a meal or two. It's like as soon as you kind of get it in their head that they have to do this, then you're gold.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they need that drive to survive. If they're not motivated to survive,
What are
then
you
it's
gonna do?
tough.
Yeah.
I have a snake that I held back, and I won't sell her, even though she fucking pounds food now. She hasn't missed a meal. It's a 2019 snake. It's a spot nose pinstripe female. I assist fed this snake for 4 months. 4 months. I'm assist feeding her. She's already 200 grams. She won't fucking eat. Will not eat. Like, will not fucking eat. And the snake's just getting longer and longer. And then I'm like keeping it going. I'm not feeding it heavy, you know. But you're starting with hoppers, and then now I'm assist feeding fucking medium mice and rat
Holy.
pups. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this snake? And thankfully, ever since she started eating, she hasn't missed a meal. She's fucking gorgeous.
Good. Good.
But I was like, fuck it, I'm keeping her. You know.
Well, yeah, you got to at that point. You
Yeah,
know, I mean, just like with the Midas combo, you know, I mean, he has a wobble, and you know, he would be a pet only to somebody else. But I mean, I'm gonna try to breed him. You know, I mean, why not? You know what I mean? If he will, I mean, I'll obviously try it once, and if it doesn't work out, then you know, I mean, I don't really feel like, you know, I don't really feel like he can pass on that wobble as long as I don't add spot nose into the pair, you know. So I'd at least like to try it, you know, because genetically, that animal is a powerhouse.
oh yeah.
I
Shit.
mean,
You breed
so
that to a single gene clown, and that's a very valuable clutch.
yeah, I don't
You
have
know.
any single gene. I don't have any clowns. The only recessive animal that I have as far as like a Regis goes would be the adult female pied we have that we've been paired up with. And this is something that I haven't really talked about, but I don't care to tell you, man, whatever. I heavily invested into the Hurricane project prior to the whole hurricane trick thing, like as in last year. Uh, you know, last year we got some hurricane stuff, and it's not that it's crashed, but just to be realistic, I'd like to get somewhat of my investment back on that. And so
Yeah.
I've been pairing him to the single gene female pied. So hopefully I can make some hurricane pieds and at least make some of that investment back. Because once, you know, once John Danner paired those two tricks and kind of brought out that super trick, and that just made the whole ball python community go upside down for a little bit. You know, they've dropped in price a bit, but if you can get you know, a recessive in the mix somewhere, that's only going to add to it. You know.
Oh yeah.
So that's
Hell yeah.
one of the ball python pairings. We've got a lace to butterbee lace pairing going. That's really it, you know. I mean, I'm just trying to make animals that I think are pretty, you know. I mean, everything else, fuck it all, you know.
Yeah.
If I don't want to keep it, then what am I doing it for? Because that's what it's all about, you know. Is I mean, bettering our collection to better the future, you know.
Oh, 100%. And that's what keeps. That's like my advice that I tell people when they ask me, you know, what do you recommend, you know, getting into the hobby, and what morphs you think that, you know, I love the question. What morphs you think that will still be making money in 3 years? And I always say, I don't have a crystal ball. I have no idea. I said, but I do know one thing. And I tell them my experience with the hypogene. The hypogene was shit. And in 2017, hypos were selling for $60,
Yep.
you know, and no one gave a shit about hypo. And I was like, I fucking love hypo. You know, my issue with hypo, I had one issue with hypo. It is so hard to take pictures of them.
And
That
capture.
the cameras are too smart and they correct what hypo is about.
Yep.
It makes all the lines in the blushing bolder and clearer, you know, and I thought of that as a weakness for the morph in a marketing point. But I knew that I liked it, and that's why in 2018 I produced all these hypo, black pastel hypo, you know, the fire lesser hypo, the fire black pastel hypo. These are all animals that I produced that people are like, oh, why are you doing that? Why are you doing clown and hypo? Like, why don't you do clown projects and do hypo projects? And I was like, no, I'm all in. And now forget it. I
Right.
got over 30 females in my clown hypo project. Yeah.
Holy shit. That's
But
crazy, bro.
and I still haven't produced one. I haven't produced one. But when I
That's
do,
yeah.
it's gonna be like bam, 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 just fucking clutch after clutch, you know, and I'm cool with that.
Here's
But you know,
600. Here's
it
600 clown fights or clown hypos.
yeah. But it brings you back to the whole thing is you want to with anything you want to work with what you're passionate about because that's going to keep you cleaning that snake piss every day and cleaning that rat shit and you know going to Agway and buying bedding and you know the long hours or even when you know you fucking got an egg bound snake and all that effort, or you raised that female for 4 years, you spent all this money on this male and you wanted this pairing because if you hit a female, you're gonna hold that back and you know, shit turns sideways. But since you have such a passion with those animals, you're like, it's what it is. Better luck next year, you know?
Right. And that's it. Okay, we'll talk next year, bro. Let me take care of you for a year, and next year we'll see what you can do for me. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
well, that's the attitude you have to have, you know, because if not, you would get crushed.
Oh, and
Because
that's the people that come in and come out. You know, it's over the years. You said you've been in it for 5 years, right? And
going on 4, yeah.
how many people in that time have you seen that you're like that you know that they started with two snakes, they got 30, and then they got 50, and
Quite
then
a
all of a
few.
sudden they have like 40 for sale, you know, and they're done. I'm done. I'm over it. I love the line. I decided to put my energy into something else.
Yeah, I love that line. For me, what got me, bro, to be honest with you, what got me was dealing with uh, because of what I do, tattooing. You know, I have to deal with the public on a daily basis, and it just got really hard for me to be like answering 1,000 questions and like taking pictures of this and taking pictures of that and doing this and doing all that. And I mean, just to be real with you, man, and you know, if there's one thing anybody that knows about me knows that number one, I'm real as fuck and I'm blunt. And I just got tired of fucking with people, to be real with you. So I started doing what was important to me and what I enjoy because, like we said earlier, it's essentially time away from your family and everything else. You know,
Oh yeah.
so you have to be able to enjoy it, whether you make money or not. And you have to be comfortable with that. You have to be comfortable with the fact that you're not going to fucking make any money off this $2,000 animal for maybe 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are okay with that, you know. But but the joy of seeing that animal on eggs or a male produce a female on eggs is where that's priceless.
Yeah, the euphoric feeling of and it's a lot of them. There's so many moments. You know, you got laying the eggs, you got pulling apart the eggs or however way you do it, put it in the incubator.
Yeah, yeah.
You got hatching the eggs, coming out of the eggs,
First
shedding,
egg. Yeah.
and then that fucking first meal. You know, it's
Nothing beats that first meal. I mean, maybe when you see it in the egg for the first time, but past that, nothing beats that first meal.
yeah. For me, it's I don't know, man. I feel like I have a toss up between seeing them in the egg and seeing them after their first shed.
First shed's good. The first shed's good. It
But
lets you really know. And you know, I learned this year to not. And you know, I have complete faith in my popping ability, but I missexed 2 animals this year because I just got so stoked on what they were, and oh my god! And as soon as
yeah,
they came out, I popped them. I learned right then I ain't fucking with nothing until it's first shed, and that I'll pop it then. So,
yeah.
but since I'm right here, man, and I've got this ring light right here, I'm going to show you this crazy ass. Woo, that's bright.
Hell yeah, it's bright. You went from like HD to 4K with that light on.
I want to show you this girl in light.
Oh my god. And then that's the Powerball. And
Powerball, inchy, possible super inchy. I mean, dude,
what does the head
possible.
look like?
The head's the whole reason she's still here. Let me see if I can get her over there.
Oh, because the fucking the spot nose fucked up the
Where is it?
markers
Where is it?
high
Where is it? There it
entry.
is. There it is.
Yeah, see, I mean, I would think that it's definitely possible super entry because that spot right there is almost like what breaks up the eye doing that loop. You know, in the entries, how it glides up with the
Yeah.
soup with
So this is a mahogany Mojave. Just a 2 gene mahogany Mojave.
I need mahogany. I swear.
Bro, I, I remember I bought my first male mahogany. I mean, look at that head, dude. You know, I bought my first mahogany male from Ashley Burge 3 years ago, and that's that line of mahogany. And I haven't seen anything that remotely compares to her line of mahogany, man. So now that we've got the light on, let me show you this lace firefly.
Yeah, man. Firefly alone, you add lace to it.
Well, it just like disappears the sides, dude. The sides of the animal are just like completely gone. Like the
Are you thinking
belly.
of adding spot nose to that?
Probably to be honest with you, I'd probably add. So it's a female. I would either put, and it's a lace firefly, so I could technically put this yellow belly lesser hurricane to it,
Oh shit.
and that would be pretty dope.
Yeah, it would.
Um, it's so hard to get used to it being backwards. There we go. So that's the male. I could put him. Get back in there. Him to it. Here's something that's kind of close to your heart. This is a male GHI chocolate.
Nice.
Yeah. Um, you know, I think a GHI chocolate lace would be amazing, to be honest with you.
Hell yeah.
But this, I'll show you my baby girl. This is the future right here. This is an orange head Curtis, Sumatran short-tail python. You can see, where are we going? There we go.
That stripe. Fuck, man, that head is so
Stripe.
orange.
Now check this out. You want to talk about a stripe? Look at this tail. So this is one of
Oh
the things
shit.
I was saying I wanted to kind of. She's not happy, but this is one of the things I said I wanted to kind of accentuate. See that long, thick tail on her, and
Yeah.
that white outlining, and how high the sides are of yellow on her. That's one of the things I want to accentuate, and that female came from the pairing that is paired up right now. So, uh, pretty fucking stoked actually, man, because I'll just keep the best of the best, breed them back to each other, make better, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, just keep it going.
Yeah. So,
Listen, I need blood pythons in my life. If I once I can and once we have the facility, I wanna I think I'll probably end up housing at least 6 boas, red tail boas, and then I think with the bloods I would want to just I think I would just do some kind of like Sal, like small but badass. You
that's
know?
it, dude. That's it. Quality. Quality over quantity. Make sure you buy from a reputable breeder because that's the thing. Like with this VPI clutch, I'll be able to say all these babies are VPI lineage straight down the fucking line, you know?
Yeah.
And so that alone, like with Sally Sal's fucking babies. Okay, so he'll be like, blah, 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 Matt Turner animal to blah, 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 Mark Kirkpatrick animal. And people will see those two names and know that just because of the genetics of the breeder, that animal, all, the
Fire.
name alone adds $500 to
Yeah.
it. Easily. Because these are people that have been doing it for fucking decades, you know.
Yeah, that's why I mean one day, I can't I probably have over I think I have like 70 different species of animals in
70?
invertebrate in invertebrates and because I also collect invertebrates and then I breed crescent geckos, tokay geckos, mourning geckos, gargoyle geckos, leachianus, ball pythons, boas,
So
rats,
lychees,
mice.
tell me about lychees. Are they pretty aggressive like tokays, or are they kind of chill?
No, so they can be. So luckily, mine, I only get aggression when they lay eggs and they just headbutt me. But the fucking jowls on these things are like a gator, Like, I just don't want to get bit by it. You
Yeah.
know, like you see them more the way they are. Now, tokay geckos are like fucking, I don't know, rabid squirrel.
That was my
You know,
first reptile. My first reptile ever was two tokay geckos, and I had a Maine Coon at the time, a cat, a big ass Maine Coon cat.
I had a Maine Coon.
Dude, this thing, it had the run of the house for years, and so I bring this big fucking tokay gecko enclosure in, and the cat's name was Honor. He would literally jump up to the corner, not jump up to the top. He would jump up to the corner to where his nails just fit inside the lid, because it was a mesh lid, and he would just sit there and roll back. And I'll be damned if one day he didn't knock that fucking thing off. And I had two tokay geckos that were like this long. They were fucking 18 inches long, every bit of it, it seemed like, loose in my house. And I had an apartment. So imagine, you're a fucking 20-year-old, 21-year-old tattooer. You just come home from the bar. You got a chick with you or whatever, and then like all of a sudden you hear, okay, okay,
Oh my
and she's like,
god.
what is that? What's that crazy noise that's coming from the dark? And I'm like, oh, don't worry, that's just a rabid lizard that's loose in my house. Needless to say, I didn't have much company until I found the fucking tokay geckos. They would literally sit up in the corner of the room at night and keep you up all night. It's like,
Yeah, they chirp and make we with our tokays, so I made custom 29-gallon tanks. I made them vertical.
yeah, yeah.
And then I do acrylic, and then I make a frame out of window screen, and then I put hinges, and I make another frame, and then I silicone that onto the lip of the tank, so I have a door.
Yeah, yeah.
So I didn't latch the door, and the tokay must have jumped perfectly on the screen door, and
To
it
make
was a
it.
big one, and popped it open. So now I had to get up for work at 5 o'clock, and my wife is like, I found the tokay gecko tank open, and I only see one in there. And I'm like, oh great. I'm like, well, I gotta go to work. I'm not fucking looking for a tokay at 5 in the morning.
Right.
And I get home from work, and she's like, you better find that fucking thing. She's like, it's been making sound all day. It was behind a 41 quart snake rack that's 13 high.
Of
And
course.
it's next to another snake rack that's another 41 that's 8 high. And then there's like a desk between next to that. So now I just work a 10-hour shift. My wife's pissed because she's freaking out because she knows they're fucking mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm standing on the desk with the putter, golf the putter hook, snake
Yeah,
hook,
yeah.
and I'm trying to catch this motherfucker, and I ended up the way I caught it was I put the snake hook next to it and kept on poking it with the snake hook to piss it off, and
Yeah.
then I had deerskin leather glove on my other hand, and I was able to lure it out to attack the snake hook. So when it attacked the snake hook, I was able to grab it with my other hand. I never fucking missed. Knock on wood, man. That shit's always fucking clipped shut because my wife was so mad about it. Because I mean, they're not. They're mine are evil. I mean, I see people that have them tamed down.
I I don't care to take the time to tame a tokay gecko, man. Those things are evil, bro. Like
Yeah.
evil. The only way I could catch mine, I came home one day And it was like I walked in the door, da 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 da. I put my shit down on the thing, and I look up, and it's literally sitting on the wall right here. And I was like, "Oh, you son of a bitch!" It's like now is the time if I'm ever gonna do it. So I look around, because you don't want to move real fast because he'll dart off. So I
Yeah.
look around at what's around me, and at that point I was a bachelor. I lived with a bunch of buddies and shit. So there was like a pair of an old shirt that was laying there. So I very kind of calmly just reached down and grabbed the shirt, and I just like, pow,
Yeah.
and like, just got it, dude. And I was like, oh my god! The whole time it's like biting my hand, and I'm like, ah, fuck! Like,
Oh
oh,
my God, it's so
God.
funny.
Horrible experience. How I ended up here, I have no idea. But
Yeah,
it all started with two tokay geckos.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
The reason why I got into toe case was because my father's like off the boat Filipino. He didn't come to America till he was like 44.
Wow.
And we were watching on Animal Planet or Discovery, one of them, Reptiles of the Philippines. So in the Philippines they call them tuka, like because that's the sound that they make.
Yeah.
And oh, my father's like, oh, those things are mean. He's like, they're so mean. When you get them in your house, you got to sweep them out with the dustpan, the broomstick, to fucking get them out the windows, because he's my father's going to turn 89, so he grew up during World War II.
Right, right.
And the Philippines, I mean, even now, you know, most houses don't even have window screens,
Yeah.
so let alone windows. Um, it's just an opening. So those fuckers get into your house, man. You got to chase them out because they'll fuck your day up, man.
Yeah.
I love them though, man. There's something about them, like even like when they open their mouth and it's just like evil jet black inside.
Yeah.
It's
They're
just
beautiful though. I mean, they are definitely beautiful. I
now they
will
have
say
all the
that.
morphs.
Do what?
There's so many different morphs with them now too.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, in Florida, running wild, there's there's red ones in Florida, and the red toe case go for like um they go for like $2,000. You can catch them wild, Florida.
Right.
Then they have, I think it's they're called like BHG, which is blue head green, where their head is like bright blue, but then their body's like a algae green, like almost like what Enchi throws off. Enchi gives you that green hue, um, almost that color. Then they have patternless. They have pied now. They have like, oh
I
yeah,
might,
man.
I might
You
have to
gotta
look at these.
you gotta go on Instagram, and you gotta just, like I tell everyone, like when I meet someone that doesn't have Instagram, I'm like, download the app and think of your favorite car and write hashtag car model, and you'll thank me, because
Yeah.
every
You'll see
time someone
everything.
fucking posts it, you're gonna see it. And that's what I do with Tokay. I do that with Tokays, and oh, you see the craziest stuff on Instagram.
I might have
I
to do that, dude, when we get off here. I might, because, Tokays have a special, I don't know if I could own anything like that with the boys, because they would want to touch it, and they know that there's certain snakes in here that they're when the snake comes out, they need to leave the room. We have two 10+ foot worms. One of them can be let out, run around the room, and the babies can play with it. But there's one that, she, as soon as you calm her down, but you go to tap her on the head with the hook, and she reaches up and snaps at the hook. You know, um, so she's definitely motivated. But I mean, once she kind of chills out and realizes what's going on, she's super cool, just like the other one. But the other one, I can just kind of reach in and grab, you know. Uh,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, the that would be my only thing is like worried about the kids getting fucked up because if the kids get fucked up, the wife is coming on meat for that.
Yeah.
That's dad fucked up time.
That means your wife's nice. See, I think my wife will just laugh. She's waiting for Junior to get bit. My son, I we have a decent collection. He's never gotten bit by a ball python. It's fucking
Really?
crazy. 5 years. Never been bit.
Mine's
Never.
not either, actually. Now that I think about it, Oliver's never gotten bit. Liam, the baby, though, dude, he'll just reach in here and start trying to pull out these blood python tubs. And I'm like, whoa, you're fucking 1.5, bro. Like, if that
Yeah,
shit hits you, that's going to launch you across the room. Chill the fuck out.
it's
Like,
like Brian Cusco's kids.
yes.
They reach
Dude,
in. I'm like, oh fuck. Like,
bro, Brian fucking Brian, the boys know Brian. Brian talks. We talk to Brian all the time. Brian's good people, man. Like, you know, I mean, Brian's just good folks, man. You know,
yeah.
we have a good relationship, me and B, man. You know, he was actually the first one that ever put me on any type of a. Well, Nick from Renown put me on an Instagram live and wanted to know about those three worlds first and shit and all that. Um, but Brian really kind of when he put us on his live or put me on his live, dude, there's no reason. I mean, I haven't even, maybe in a couple of years when I have more knowledge and I produce some blood pythons and things like that, like I can see people being like, "Hey, man, come tell me what you." But right now, dude, it's not really like. I mean, he just did that because he's a homie, and he said that, and he said, "Man, I hope everything that you deserve comes to you a little bit through this or whatever." And that meant a lot, mainly. But like I said, dude, me and Brian, yeah, shit, I was one of his first Patreons, and I was his first Patreon to be like, all right, dude, I'm done with Patreon. Take it easy. He was like, so you're leaving? And I was like, yeah, I'm just not into it, man. It's just, if you need some money, I can send you some money, but I mean, I don't want this tier shit. Now I have to fucking pay attention to what's on this Discord site. And I said,
Group chats.
I'm trying to be a dad, man, and like tattoo and make money and make sure my snakes aren't sitting in piss. Like the last thing I have time to do is like all this shit. And I think once I came to him with that and I was like just real with him about it, dude, our relationship has changed dramatically. I mean, like a couple times a week, like we'll text or whatever, and you know, I'll send him a song that's cool on YouTube. He'll send me one. That's the basis of our relationship is really based around music, because we're both big music guys. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, watching Toot get fucking hit by that fucking retic, man. I texted him after that, and I was like, I can't believe. Like, I think it's cool you did it. I was like, but bro, there's no way I'd ever put that on fucking Instagram
Yeah.
or YouTube. Just to be real with you, like, you're the only dude that can do that. Just so you realize it. Like,
You got the power.
you got
Yeah,
the power.
he's like so Brian, like, I try to be selective of people that are on, I try to feel like if I should have someone on that I feel like I can have a connection and a conversation. Like me and you never even ever talked. We
We're
just
not.
like each other's shit on Instagram.
Yeah.
Who would think that this is awesome? It's like hanging out with one of my friends.
Right. Right.
Um, I messaged Brian and I was like, hey man, like I'm a fan. I do a live stream every Friday night. Would love to have you as a guest. And he was like, hell yeah, man. He's like, I'll get back to you. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I got to talk, I was like fanboy, like I got to talk to Brian and Messenger and all this. And let me tell you, man, 2 weeks later, he fucking messaged me. He was like, yo, man, next Friday, I'm down, bro.
Yeah.
And we did the live stream. And then to make it even crazier is I didn't know he's a half a Filipino too.
Yep. He's Scandinavian, fucking hell, Filipino. His dad, I believe, if I remember correctly, his dad carries the Scandinavian part.
Yep. His mother's Filipino.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I
It's
thought he was
cool.
Hawaiian. I always thought he was Hawaiian because he got the Moana, like you know what I
He
mean?
just lived there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking and he's like, oh, I know a half Filipino on the live stream. He's like, oh, I know a half Filipino. I'm like, yeah, who's that? He's like, you're looking at him. And I was like, no fucking way, man. And he's so cool. Um, I hope to talk to him. We I like his stuff, and you know we haven't messaged since the live stream, but I know we'll cross paths again eventually in the future. And I mean, there's
Yeah.
something about like his family. He's got quarter Filipino children. My kids are quarter Filipino. And I also think that, his whole work ethic and his whole just demeanor on life as a whole
Yeah.
is the
He's
world
he's a,
more
he's a
people.
very, very relatable dude. He is extremely relatable. It's like, okay, I get where this dude's at, and I can feel that.
Yeah.
So, oh fuck, brother. Well, I'm gonna have to pass out, man. I know
Yeah,
you
man.
probably need to rest that voice, bro.
Yeah, my voice is getting a little rough. It's my sinuses. I'm hoping this is just a sinus and ear infection. Because right now I can feel it. I definitely got a sinus issue and double ear infection.
Well, it's that time of the year too. You know what I mean?
That's
I
what I'm
mean,
hoping. I hopefully because my daughter's the same way. She's got asthma like me, and then
yeah. I
I
just
just
went through it. I mean, I just went through a whole nasal fucking head thing, and yeah, dude. So hopefully that's all it is. But like I said earlier, man, you guys will definitely be in my prayers for sure.
yeah, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, I got to stay healthy, man. I got to do this road trip.
Yes, of
Got to
course.
do this fucking road trip.
Yeah,
Plus, it'll be the first show that I'll be going to and not vending in 5 years.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's gonna be cool, man. I'll be able to wear some DMJ Reptiles gear, and I plan on bringing a book bag and giving away shit, and just hanging out, pretty
Yeah,
much.
man.
I mean,
That's what my first Henley was. My first Henley was just walking around and kind of meeting people and just soaking everything in.
yeah,
So
I've never
hopefully,
been to Tinley. I want to go to Tinley.
yeah, it's
They keep
nice.
fucking canceling it.
I mean, dude, when you get to Tinley and you see some of those blood pythons, you're gonna be like, okay, here's my debit card. Because
I trust me.
all the
I mean,
nicest shit.
I won't post the pic, but you sent the pic of my my reptile house. So there's no room for blood pythons, unfortunately. But when the day comes, I fucking will have a few.
Yeah,
Definitely a few.
they're just
And
amazing animals, man. One hundred
they are.
percent.
Hell yeah. And they give you that intimidating fucking like don't fuck with me.
And if you do,
You
it's
know.
gonna hurt when I hit you.
Yeah, yeah. It's not a
It's
ball python where you get, pink water coming out of your skin.
right.
You
It's like getting
Yeah.
bit by a fucking berm, but with like 10 times more power.
I got my worst snake bite was with a berm. I will close it out on this one. I was working at a pet store. I was managing the small animals and reptile department, and I was very, very, in the '90s, you didn't feed snakes in their setups. You put them in a box and you fed them in a box.
Yeah.
So we had this 10-foot albino Burmese python, female, and she was a fucking puppy dog. And then we hired someone new that had reptile experience and knew more than everybody. And I find out after that he was launching rats inside because the old displays of the pet stores where it slide the whole fucking thing goes out and then it had the screens on the sides.
Yeah, yeah.
So this asshole was like lunging, throwing jumbo rats at this fucking thing, feeding it, trying to get people to buy it by seeing like how cool it is to eat. I don't know he's doing this. So he's only been working there for like 3 weeks now. I'm talking to a customer. I'm so confident in this snake that I would stick my arm in and just grab her without looking at her. I'm standing on the third stair of a fucking step stool, pulling out this berm, shove my arm in, and this motherfucker clamps onto my wrist, does 3 coils, and then defecates on me. Because you know how berms love to do that too. They bite and shit on you at the same time.
Yeah.
So now I'm on top of a step stool with a snake biting my wrist, constricting my arm, and shit all over me.
In front of a customer.
In front of a customer that did not buy the snake. And yeah, I never fucking did that again. So that's when like it was a wrap. I wasn't shoving my fucking arm in there. I made a snake hook out of 1-inch PVC pipe and an elbow and another piece of 1-inch PVC to be able to go in and hook her. And
whatever works.
That was my worst bite. Now I laugh because I get ball python bites and they're just a joke.
See, man, I again, knock on some wood, knock on some melamine, knock on some PVC, whatever. But I haven't gotten hit by anything with substantial size, so I'm sure it's going to happen. And when it does, hopefully it's not in my hand so I can tattoo the next day.
Yeah. Or hopefully it's not on a tattoo that you don't want to ever touch up.
Yeah, I mean, if it takes a little piece of a tattoo, that'll be kind of a cool story. I'm more worried about it hitting my hand and my hand swelling up for a week and me missing out on like multiple thousands of dollars worth of work.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be detrimental. So.
Oh hell yeah, man! I mean, every paycheck counts.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, it was so awesome having you, brother. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for asking me, man. I mean, fuck, dude. I like I said, I don't go out and be like, hey, man, put me on your podcast. But when you reached out to me, dude, I knew because of Sally Sal that I was definitely going to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because he had asked me prior to do it with you guys. That things got busy with him. I got busy. So when you asked, I was like, yeah, of course.
We broke up, man. We fucking broke up.
Well, he's like that. You know them Staten Island boys,
Oh, he's a Long Island guy. You know what really happened with Sal? I always call it a breakup. He's an overtime animal, and he took overtime like 4 times in a row. So it was 4 cancellations with the show. And he was like, dude, he's like, you're a good friend of mine. And he felt horrible having to say, oh, dude, I got to pick up this overtime. So he was like, unfortunately, I would rather not cancel on you every week. And I'm like, dude, just whenever you can. And we left it at that. Now his schedule, he works that night. So forget it. Now he's working right now.
Right. I mean, dude, I had to leave a little bit early, I mean, for people that work at night, dude, it's kind of fucking hard. You know what I mean? I mean, it's hard to, But I mean, if that's what it consists of, that's what it consists of. You know, you got to
Yeah.
do what you got to do. But I mean, there's always ways you can cut corners and shit. So,
Yeah. Well,
but
definitely, man. In the future, definitely love to have you back.
yeah, just let me know. I'll be here, man. I'll be in the same room, hopefully, maybe in the new room by then, and I'll have a lot more blood pythons to show you.
Definitely, man. If I come out
And
to Tennessee, I want to come by and check out these fucking animals.
yeah, you come by and I'll let you pick up this 2015 Martyr without the hook. We'll see if
Uh,
if it works out.
yeah. Let's see. I taste like chicken.
So, that's awesome. That means I guess that tastes like sweet tea.
All right, brother. Thanks again.
Yeah,
Big
bro.
shout out to OmalleysMorphs. Check them out. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere.
Everywhere. I'm everywhere. So hey, thanks, man. Hit me up if you need anything, bro. Whatever, man. It'd be good. It'd be
Yeah,
good to
man.
keep the relationship going.
Definitely. I'm gonna shoot you my cell phone number at the end of this.
Okay, cool, bro. Cool. All right, man. See you, dude.
Later, Matt. That was fucking awesome. Awesome. Um, Big shout out to Matt. Thank you so much, man. It was so cool to be able to have someone out of the ball python world, but in the ball python world, in the live stream. It's great, and it's so much information. In the period that he's been in this world, he is, done a lot with the reptiles, and it clearly shows. And you know, got to check him out. His Instagram's ridiculous. He takes great photos, great animals, great everything. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this live stream. If you don't like, follow or subscribe, or you know, if you like it, please do. And next week, I don't have a guest lined up yet, but I'm sure I'll have someone. And I hope everybody enjoys it. Oh shit! Catch you guys later. Thanks again. Thanks for everyone with super chats.